back by mistake. Alright, so do we want to swap to Wednesday? Is that the best bet, or?
I mean, I'm fine with it.
Fine with me.
It doesn't matter to me if you want to do Wednesday or shorten an hour Monday, or if you want to replace me on Monday and I'll pick up another day that you play or something. It doesn't matter.
No, it's cool. I like this group, so I'm cool with swapping. I have no qualms swapping.
Yeah, agreed.
What do we tell our adoring fans?
All right.
Deal with it.
Yeah,
There you go.
We're now
Get a
on
life.
The two. Oh, no.
Right.
Both of them. No.
All right, just making sure we're on the same page here, literally. Okay, so either Branagor or Felix, would either one of you guys just like to do the recap real quick? Because obviously we had both Radio and Ed miss some of it. Radio missed the whole thing, but I did kind of go over it, but you know.
You want to take it this time?
Sure. If you don't want to.
I don't mind, but I did it last time.
It's like class teacher. Come on, show me your work on the board.
Okay. Well, a quick recap of first session. We all met. We talked to Gerald, and we did some work loading some barrels. And then we started our journey to Kermont. Oh, we beat up some target dummies. I forgot about that. We did 2 fights, and then we met Mornia. And then we kind of ended there. On the second session, we finished the journey to Kermont. We got to Kermont. There was an outer wooden gate to the city. The city's like split in two, kind of. There's an outer portion outside the mountain that's protected by a wooden gate. We got through the wooden gate, and then we just basically went straight to the second gate. There's a second stone gate that leads into the mountain, and we didn't really do anything in the outside portion of the town. We just went straight to the second gate. After we got through the second gate, Mornia had to leave, and then we went to Augusto's home to have dinner. We had dinner with Augusto and what's his face? I wrote it down.
Gerald?
Gerald?
Yeah, Gerald. We all had dinner there, and then let's see. He was telling us about the plan to form a scouting party to go scout the Knoll base, and we're gonna meet with some people from Fort. How do you say that? Vignon.
Vignon.
Yep.
Vignon.
Okay, and we're gonna meet some people there in like a week or so, or 2 weeks, and then Alan and Cleese went to bed early, at least as far as role playing goes, and then Felix and I went to a shop called the Little Cyclops. It's run by Burgle Baron. Felix managed to obtain a focus to cast a spell. I bought an herbalism kit, and he gave me an alchemist book, so that was cool. And then we had some tea, and he also gave us a quest for while we're killing the gnomes, not the gnomes.
Kill all
I
the,
get that thing last time too.
no
Kept saying,
Palooza. Just kill them all. Genocide.
that's
Yeah.
right.
When we
They come
killed
from
the
a shithole
gnolls,
burrow anyway.
we can collect like different parts of their bodies, like eyes, tongues, claws, or some of their blood, and bring it back to Burgle, and he'll, I don't know, maybe, I don't know. He didn't really say what we'd get, but he just wants that stuff. So he did give Felix some vials to store the blood in, and then that was pretty much it. We finished drinking tea with him, and then that was it. We went back to Augusto's house and went to bed.
And just so you know, so Felix, you can go ahead. Did I tell you how many vials you got?
I think I marked it down on my thing. My sheet. 12 vials.
Yep. Okay. Cool. So and those are varying sizes. Like there's a couple of little ones. So I'll just give you numbers just so you know. So we'll say that 5 of them are smaller, like smaller vials. Maybe you put like some teeth in there or something like really tiny. And then there's 3 of them that are like medium sized. And then there's the rest of them are like larger, more of like a flask.
So
Each-
5, 3, and
4.
5, 3, and 4. Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, he just kind of opened up a small pack and just like just scooped them all in and just handed them to you. Just like whatever you can get and fit in here, do that. He did also say like if you could get a whole body, that would be ideal, but obviously that's difficult to bring back.
Yeah.
So he pretty much said just,
It'd be nice.
yeah, he just said pretty much get me whatever you can. He's just trying. He knows they're like a dark, magical nature about them. They're like a demonic thing. So he said he's just interested in studying them, and obviously he hasn't been able to actually do it himself because they're, ferocious, dangerous creatures. So.
Yep.
All right. So Brandagor, is there anything else?
Nothing major that I can think of.
Okay. So when you guys left off, I can't remember. Did you go see Gerald before or after the breakfast bar? I can't remember. I can't remember if we left it with you guys at the breakfast bar, like eating, or if you went to go see him.
I think we started talking. We went to his room, found him just waking up, not wanting to deal with stuff. Then we left, talked to the Burgell, and then we were coming back at the end to go pick up the rest of our party and talk to Brandon Gordon, or talk to Gerald to head out.
Okay. So, Augusto did mention it takes several days, anywhere from 2 to 3 days, to get to the meeting point for the other scouting party. So there's 2 weeks. So given that, you guys have about a week and a half, roughly, to do whatever you want. So I guess we'll open it up. So Branagor and Felix, you were talking to Gerald, and you were asking him various questions about what you could or could not get. I believe you're talking to him more about spell components and things of that nature, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, I think we left off with me saying, "Oh, I'll just pick it up myself," and that's when we headed back to the shop, and I just bought the whatever component, the diamond for chromatic orb, just outright.
Yeah, I think you did that the first time. I remember I have here written down that the last thing you did was, in the shop anyway, was that you bought some components, two sets of components for Find Familiar spell for your owl.
Oh, that was
I
the little
think
gnomey thing there.
we left off at you summoning your owl, so you would have it.
Yep.
So, okay, so you take a little bit and you're summoning your owl. You're reading your spell book and kind of okay, you're setting it up. And I did add that if you see in the group 1 characters I gave you. Yeah, okay,
Yep.
you even
And I gave him a
did,
name.
so cool. So you're good. Great. So you're in your room doing that. Khalees, what I said was that you had fallen asleep and you're just snoring loudly. You ended up waking everybody up with your snoring, and you're just passed out in the other room.
Sweet. And I set up for the next week and a half to pillage and rape and. Oh, never mind. We're not with the gnolls yet. I'll catch them later. All right.
Okay.
Sounds
And
good.
then, so yeah, so essentially you guys have a week and a half. So, um, I
Is there
guess
any like small,
sorry, what?
like small local quests and stuff? Is there any like small local quests or stuff we can do while we're waiting? Like maybe go explore a cave or dig up a grave or.
Well, I think the question is, do we take that week and a half here, or do we go to Fort Vignon, where the meeting place is, and wait there?
Oh, well, there you go. We
I'm
can.
I'm sure
That's a
you could
good idea.
arrange this. I'm sure you could arrange it either way. You guys are free to do whatever you wish. If you wish to explore Kermont more, if you want to head out, go to Fort Vignan. Um, and I was talking to Alan about this a little bit, but you guys are free to do whatever you want. So I'm just gonna try and act like I think that the NPCs would act. I mean, you guys are capable, so obviously that's why you were chosen to do this. But if you decide, hey, we don't want to, you can go and do whatever you want. So, just throwing that out there again. I'm not railroading you guys. You can really do whatever you want. So, I know what Mr. Augusto did say was that he was going to send a couple of guards with you just to escort you up the mountain path, just for a little added protection, and that pretty much after that you're on your own to go and meet up with the other scouting party and do the mission. But
The thing is, like in a week and a half in this town, I mean, there's not really a lot we can do over and over again.
right, and you don't have to
My
roleplay
current
out the whole
update.
week and a half. It can just be like, yeah, over the next week and a half, I would like to drink and gamble, and then maybe we'll like roll one time or something. Or if you want to roleplay, that's totally fine. You don't have to. If there's just like some basic things, this is what I would like to do. Or like you're saying, if you guys want to start heading to Fort Vignan and try and talk it out to be on your way early, I'm sure you could do that as well.
We could check what there is to do here, and then make our decision of that.
Right.
Try to find a quest board or something. See if anything strikes our fancy.
All right, there you go.
So, Alan.
Yes.
So, I'm not sure. Does your character wake up? Are you more like an early riser or just middle of the morning or?
Not necessarily early, but yeah, not late. So yeah, pretty much middle of the morning, say like 8 or 9ish. I'm getting up.
Okay, and at this point it's probably about 10 or so or 9 or 10 when we left off last week, and then so at this point Felix is in his room summoning his owl. Brandagor is wherever. I'm not sure where Brandagor is, and so you wake up, Alan, and you're essentially free to do whatever you want. If you'd like to go from there.
Well, in that case, I'm assuming I heard Felix like going over into his room. I'm gonna leave him alone for now, but I'm gonna go track down Brandagor and Cleese real quick and just apologize for being gone all day, the day previous.
Yeah, no problem. So, and you awake to the very loud sounds of snoring coming from several rooms down. Just you're like, oh, what the, and it is definitely clearly Cleese. You've heard him snore before, and it's just outrageously loud. So, Brandagor, where did you decide where you were gonna go or anything that you were gonna do?
If it's morning, I'd just probably be eating breakfast. I guess it depends on the time of the morning, but I'd probably just be hanging out down in some central room downstairs.
Yeah, so downstairs, there's like the main entryway when you first get in. There's like several couches. There's a nice big hearth. Down the hall to the right is where you had the dining area where you had dinner, and like off to the left, kind of like connected to that room, was like the big breakfast bar. So you guys had breakfast. It's probably roughly this time or so. Alan is getting out of bed. And if you're just hanging out in that lounge area, then sure, we can say that you're doing that. And it's pretty comfy. Like the couch is extremely fluffy and cushioned, and you see there are still some of the servants that are just like swapping shifts. Like some of them are just like two at a time go to the breakfast bar, and then a couple leave. They're just like stuffing their face, taking some sort of a break, and relaxing, drinking some coffee and things like that, and then they're swapping out.
Okay, yeah, I'll be down there, and if they don't kick me out of the kitchen, I'll just hang around the kitchen, pick up what I can.
All right. Well,
Oh yeah, you did say you were gonna do that. Okay.
in that case, yeah, I'm just gonna make my way downstairs, slowly start poking my head through the different rooms, just track down Branagor. And when I see, go ahead, you were about to say.
Yeah. Okay. So you hear sounds coming from the kitchen of it sounds like Branagor's voice and someone else. And no, you gotta. Yep. You put that on it, and you do a little of this, and then you hear Branagor like, oh shit, and going back and forth from the kitchen area. So it's easy enough to locate him.
All right, then I'm just popping my head in. And good morning, Branagor. So, apologies for being gone all day yesterday. After receiving the payment for the job, I was very excited to go out, and I purchased myself a horse, actually.
A horse, nice. And don't worry about it. We all have things that come up.
All right, yeah. It's just been so long now. Not really that long, but feels so long now since I've had a horse. My family, we trained a lot in caring for horses, riding with them, fighting with them. Wasn't able to get myself a wool horse, but a riding horse will do for now.
And I always wanted a pony.
Anyways, though, from what I understand, I had a short conversation with Gerald yesterday. You all have already spoken to him and gotten a job about scouting to the north, correct?
Oh yes, that won't be for a little bit. So I don't have any plans. I was just going to wait around and see what everyone else wanted to do, and then go from there.
I see then. In a moment, I guess we should go wake up Cleese finally and see if Felix is not too busy. We can discuss it a bit. As long as we don't head out, though, I'm likely going to spend the next week until we head out training my horse. If you have nothing to do, I may ask you to come help me with that. Might need someone to help get it used to loud noises and whatnot.
Okay, that sounds good with me.
You're eating breakfast now?
I've already ate. I'm just helping out in the kitchen. I wanted to pick up some pointers on just how to cook this food. It's they make it very well.
I see. Is there anything ready around here? I haven't eaten yet. I might just eat a light breakfast today, I think.
Sure, there should be. Well, is there stuff prepared? I'm assuming there is.
Yeah, you're right now. Um, it's the entire kitchen staff is like preparing for the next meal. Um, so at this point, there's a lot of, like I said, preparation going on. So you see like a lot of meat is being like basted and stored and set aside. A lot of the prep like potatoes and stuff are all being peeled and cut, and nothing is really cooked at this point. But you do know, because you had the breakfast bar, like the breakfast bar is still going strong at this point. But in terms of where you are in this like larger kitchen area, it's more of a prep. There's nothing that's like ready to eat at this point.
Okay, yeah, there's a breakfast bar still out there in the other room.
Great. I guess I'll go, yes, eat something quickly, and then if you have nothing else to do, I suppose we should wake up Cleese finally. He's been sleeping for quite a while, it sounds like. And grab Felix, see if we can plan things out for this next week.
Okay, sounds good with me.
point, yeah, I'm just gonna go eat breakfast real quick, and then grab Branagor, and I guess we'll go slam on Cleese's door a bit.
Okay, yeah, not a problem. Um, so, yep, Cleese. Um,
You goddamn monsters! You bastards! I'll kill you all! God damn it! Bring back Mr. Snuggles or else! Ah, my gods! I'm gonna cast such a retribution spell on you.
Get out of your bed, Cleese. You've been sleeping for hours, it sounds like. Hours longer than you need to.
Hours. Well, what time is it?
It's already morning. It's like 9, 10-ish.
What day is it?
Day after you went to sleep. What do you mean, what day is it?
The day after. Yeah. Where are we again? I guess it doesn't matter. What are we doing today? I get up, get my armor on, and
We're just making some
pee in the
plans.
pot.
Seeing how we're going to spend this week. Seeing as we have this short scouting trip coming up.
Oh, right. Scouting. Yeah, Knowles. Okay. Yeah, they're yummy.
Alright, let's grab Felix
Right.
before then, though. Before we start making these plans.
Sure. Where's Felix the cat?
It's around here somewhere. I think I heard him at some point last night, but I didn't see him actually. Branagor, do you know where he is?
He's not in his room.
I am in my room.
I haven't. I'm not sure where his room is.
He did mention that to you, by the way, Brandagor, that he was heading up to his room to cast some spells and whatever. So.
I will randomly open a door then. Is this you?
Is it?
I don't know.
No, he opens the door to Brandagor's room.
No,
Let's
that's
just
my
let
room.
Branagor lead the way.
All right, so that's not you. All right, next room.
I think he was in the room between my room and Cleese's room because he got woken up much, or he could hear the snoring much more
Correct.
loudly.
Yeah, so if you're going from left to right, it's Brandagor, Felix, then Cleese.
All right, yeah. All right, open this door. Hey, what are you doing in here? You trying to burn the place down?
Well, you see like a bunch of fluttering and like a small brown figure just darting around.
Oh, turkey, yum.
And
And
you see all sorts of like remnants of sigils and various like herbs and components that are strewn across the floor.
Don't worry, I'll catch it. It'll make a good lunch.
So you've been very productive, Felix.
Look for the fluttering.
come, land. You see it kind of land on my arm. There we go.
You've trained food to fly to your arm?
Well,
I gotta learn.
and also I can also do this, and I snap and it disappears. And I do it again, and it reappears.
Ooh, endless food.
Not
Very
quite. I don't
like
think it would
Sizzler?
actually. I don't think it actually create meat. If it, regardless, meat orbit. Everybody,
I'll try.
can
Oh,
you not?
What are we doing today?
We got a week. We got like a week and a half, right?
Why'd you wake me?
The plan, Cleese.
Bored. I can't make owls all day.
What are we planning?
Yes. Are we going to just spend this week here in the city? Are we doing something? Anything y'all wanted to do?
I want to get better at casting spells and doing stuff, so I can do it better. Let's
Yes,
go
I could
do
use.
stuff.
I could use more money to find more books, get more spells, learn more crap.
I wasn't with you all much yesterday, so was there anything? There was nothing particularly notable to do around the town, is there?
We didn't really look. I mean, we were trying to find a quest board or something.
Yeah, you guys did. So what you've done is you've gotten to Mr. Augusto's residence. You guys went out. You found the little Cyclops. You also went out to the Wandering Dolphin, to the little like side between two buildings, small bar, and that's about the extent that you've explored Kermont.
Hey, where's the giggling girl?
What?
You know, the one we found on the caravan on the way here? The giggling girl? Where's she?
I believe she ended up
I
doing something else. I think
I
she
haven't
took
seen
her
her.
money and won,
Oh, all
from
right.
what I
Probably for the
understand.
best. She looked a little unstable, if you know what I mean.
Eh,
Always
hard to
laughing.
judge.
All right. So, do you guys have everything you need? Everything you want?
I'm out of shopping for the moment.
I just recently bought myself a new horse. That's where I was all day yesterday, by the way. Apologies for that. Ran off pretty much as soon as we got our money.
Yeah, I don't blame you. There's whores waiting.
Uh,
Yeah, horse. Yeah,
Other than that,
horse.
I just need to stop by with Mr. Gerald, see about getting some supplies I requested of him.
So,
And
do
as
you guys
you
want
guys
to?
are debating and you're talking about that, you hear like a light footsteps, like tick 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 tick, tick going behind you, because the doorway is open.
Check my pockets.
You hear like, oh yeah, and Gerald walks by the open doorway and he's looks like he's scribbling on his journal.
I keep my distance from him.
Speaking of, Gerald, are you busy right now?
Yes. Oh, hello. Ah, ah. What can I do for you, Mister? Alan, was it?
It's Alan Beaumont. I recall yesterday we had a bit of a conversation about obtaining some equipment for my horse. Do you know if that's ready to be picked up at this point?
Um, mm, I'm not sure, but hold on one moment. And he fishes in his pocket for something. He pulls out like a pin that has a large um, hammer on it with like some sun lines coming out of it. You recognize it's the same crest that's on this building. He hands it to you. Yes, bring this over to the stable master, uh, and I'm sure that he can help you out. You just tell him that Gerald sent you. Um, I don't know so much about the armoring that you wanted. That may take a little time, but I'm sure he has the other supplies.
Thank you. It was a bit of a request for the armor, but the rest of the supplies will be greatly appreciated.
Of course. It also may take some time for the other the banners you requested.
Those would also be greatly
Banners.
appreciated, but those aren't as necessary at the moment. Perhaps once we come back from the scouting mission, I'll pick them up.
The hell, boy, banners,
Of course.
armor. What are we in a parade?
I
Gosh,
had to leave
knows.
much of my belongings behind when I left, but I still would like to remember myself by my family. Present myself as such.
Young spoiled nobles.
A family man, I can respect that. And at that, he kind of like chippers up. You see him do like the chest wiggle and like straighten out his clothes.
Yes, it's quite useful as well. Makes it much easier to receive introductions that you might need.
Well then, if there is nothing else, I'll be going now. Do any more of you have questions?
Now,
Yes. If we were to, since we do have a bit of time before the meeting in Fort Vignan, is there anywhere we would find, say, a quest board or uh, somewhere we could find some jobs to do in the meantime?
Well, um, I don't know about a posting or a board, but I'm sure if you're looking for something to take up your time, you could always contact the guards. Um, they receive inquiries. So it's possible to pick up a job for them. I also know that they're hiring, so who knows, maybe they'll subcontract out some of their work. I'm not sure exactly how they run, but you never know.
And maybe they got a haunted house for us to investigate or something.
Possibly. Oh,
Alright.
one more thing. And he takes out of his jacket pocket, he like fumbles around for a little bit and is like checking various pockets. And you can see he's probably got like 24 pockets on the inside of his vest, just like all over the place. Like, oh no, this one, no, this one, yep. Ah, here. And he pulls out a letter, and he just hands it like in your general direction. He's talking to Felix, so he hands it to Felix.
I grab it.
From some young lass, the one that was on the caravan that joined up. Wanted me to give this to you.
We just got a letter. We just got a letter.
Oh, good God. Yeah, I guess I open it up and start reading it.
And as you do that, he kind of looks over the rest of you. Is there anything else I can help you all with before I attend to my normal business as usual?
Just does the Augusto household have a small training ground anywhere that I might be able to keep and train my horse for the next week, as long as we don't head out anywhere?
Yes, of course. We regularly deal with livestock and beasts of burden. Around back of the establishment, and you know that out of character, you know that this is like a really large building. So you're only at like the tip of the iceberg in this frontal part where you've been. So yes, if you take them around the back, we have our own stables here.
Thank you very much.
There should be more than enough room if you need to get used to the horse and have the horse get used to you and whatnot. We also have some various hands that might be able to assist you.
Thank you
Could
very
ask
much.
Tree Boy to talk to your horse. Tell it to be good. That ought to cut the training time down a bit.
Indeed, Branagor, I may request that you help a bit more. I didn't really think of that at the time. But yeah, if you could use your particular talents to help me with training, that would be much appreciated at some point this week.
Okay.
Well, best of luck to you. I really must go now. Good luck. And you see he
Thank you, Joel.
scampers off.
Thank you, Gerald.
And he just kind of like waves in your general direction as he's like running out of the room. I mean, you just noticed at this point that he's extremely busy individual.
Boy, he's always happy to see us. Or is it see us go? I don't know yet. But always smiling when he leaves us.
So, Felix, you take a few seconds, you open up the letter, and two silver pieces fall out. And you open it up, and it says, Thanks for the good time. Had fun. And just signed Mornia.
I read it out loud and...
Oh, lucky you.
Apparently. That's curious.
At least we know she's well.
Not a very poetic ending for a bard.
Can't all be like that.
People have
Sometimes
places to be.
Maybe
Well-
she expected more presents from you to stick around. Who knows? Maybe she was just after something for the night.
Yes. Well, should we try to contact the guard and see if they have anything of use, or should we? Alan, you said you seemed like you would like to spend the week in Kermont making use of that training ground while we find some other stuff. Is that right?
Let's go take a look at this horse he bought and see if it's worth the silver.
Well, training, you don't want to train horse too much per day, so as long as we're doing things not too far from Kermont and we'll be back each night, I'll have no problem going out with you. and especially if whatever we're doing is going to be within Kermont, as long as I can have maybe an hour or so per day to go out and train the horse, that'll be about as much as I'd be willing to train it.
That sounds good. I was just so it sounds like we're gonna stay in Kermont rather than heading to Fort Vignan and spending the week there. So if we're doing that, let's go try to talk to the guard and find see if they have something for us to do.
If y'all would like to head up to Fort Vignon, I'm still able to train the horse on our way up north. It might be a bit less convenient, but I'm more than happy to if you all would like to continue on.
I mean, as long as we can find something to do, I don't think it makes that much of a difference.
Take no never mind to me.
Yeah, I don't mind either way. Certainly wouldn't mind picking up an extra job while we wait.
Well, if that's
Because I know. Oh, sorry.
Go ahead. You were talking first.
Well, I was just going to say, I know you need more money to get a better horse, and then Felix was wanting to get something for another.
There's a number of just random spell components and stuff like that I could make use of.
If that's the case, I believe we should contact the guards, see if they have jobs.
Yes, sounds like a plan. Let's away.
Ready.
Okay. So it's easy enough to find the guard post. You guys remember right when the stone gates opened, like on both sides. That's pretty much where they're stationed. There's like a large area to the left, large area to the right, where you saw some of them, maybe a half a dozen or so, just doing various things like stacking wood and.
Hey,
just,
there's that corrupt guard that was taking bribes.
So
if we're going to be working with them, you might want to lay off that a little bit, at least while we're within earshot of them.
Yeah, he knows what he is.
Best not remind him, though.
So, you guys take a little bit to travel through the city. It doesn't take that long. You guys have to go like up the large S path, and again, just because I know Alan wasn't here, that Kermont is kind of like there's a dull kind of red glow from the various forges in the mountain, and it's lit mostly by like braziers and torches and things like that, like large lanterns. And so you travel up the S shaped path up to the top of the like the ravine, and you head towards the gate where the outpost is. So at this hour, you see it looks about the same as when you left it. Like there's still people doing various tasks. Like you see a lot of the guard are just like sweeping the floor and like maybe polishing boots and just all sorts of stuff. They're just doing upkeep. You see a couple of guards like swap out. A couple go in, a couple come out and like start walking down the S path.
Hello? Excuse me? Try to grab one of them.
Yeah, so you approach the gentleman who's just like sweeping the front, and he's just kind of like staring off into the distance while he does it. He's not really fully paying attention to what he's doing. So it takes him a second. How can I help you?
Excuse me, so we're here we have about a week to kill, in Kermont here before we're off. Is there any way we could, pick up a job, assist the guard, something like that? Meantime, is there any... We are a group of fairly talented individuals. I give a little tiny presentation poof in my hand.
He jumps back like ever so slightly as you do that, and he's like, "Whoa, sure, of course. We have been somewhat short-handed. I know that much, but for specifics, I don't know. Hold on.
Yeah. Is there anyone specific we should talk to, or?
Yeah. Let me go grab Mr. Durrell. I'll be right back." And you see he goes over and hangs up the broom, and then kind of goes inside the barracks. It takes him probably about 4 or 5 minutes, and then he comes back out with the just really hard-looking, muscular dwarf, bald, and just like this huge beard that has like ornate, like almost pharaoh cuffs, and then it has like various golden rings hanging throughout his beard. Aye, so you're the lot.
That we are.
So, what can I do for you?
Yes. So as I was telling this young guard here, we are here for about a week before we move on to our next position, working for Mr. Augusto. We are
Aye.
a group of fairly talents and some combat abilities. Is there any way we could help out, take on a job or something in the meantime while we're here?
Earn a little bit of money.
Yes, that.
Ah, money. Of course. If you're with Mr. Augusto, I'm sure you're pretty talented. So, I got a
That's
few
what she
things.
said.
With me it is. And he kind of like, haha, and he pats you on the back. So, come with me. And
All right.
he leads you in the barracks. And you can see this is all stonework, and it's very, just like all the rest of the architecture in Kermont, it's like very square edge. There's not really anything ornate about the barracks. It's just like it seems like a solid piece of stone. It's definitely finely made. It's just not like gilded. It's not ornate with symbols and things like that. So he leads you through down into a smaller room. It just has like a desk and a bunch of various papers and scrolls and whatnot on it. He goes around to the other side of the desk and opens up one of his cabinets. It's almost like a lista, and he goes through. Here we are, and he pulls like up a stack on his desk, and he like fans it out across the desk, and he's like picking through. So here's the complaints that we've been having. Seems we get some missing persons cases. We get, of course, the null sightings. We have one here for, it seems, some sort of creatures, harpies, to the south. All sorts of various jobs here.
Anything local? Maybe in the more outskirts parts of Kermont? Any trouble out there that needs to be dealt with?
Bear rats in the sewers. Yeah.
You're always free to take a look if you want to do a shift. But no complaints yet. Of the sewers, anyway.
I see. And you were speaking the harpies to the south? How far south are we talking here?
Through the mountains about a day. And he does have like on his back wall, so you guys are in the front of the desk. You see him, he's hunched over, he's looking through all these complaint whatever that he's looking through, whatever, and right behind him there's just like a huge region map. Essentially what you're looking at is kind of like what he has, and he points you right here. I don't know if you can see it. I'm pinging it.
Yeah, you
Where?
can see.
There we go. Way down. Move the map down. There we go.
Okay.
So, what do you say, guys? Do you want to head to some harpies, or do you want to keep local in town and do a couple of foot patrols, or?
I'd like to do something specific. If there isn't a, I prefer to not to be not to be blunt to the head of the guard. I'd like to be testing and improving our skills. I don't want to walk around town for a couple days without seeing anything specific.
These missing persons reports, these have been happening in Kermont, yes?
Aye, we get them every now and again.
Are
The,
these harpies?
And at that, he kind of pulls out like 3 out of his stack and just like sets them aside.
Are these harpies responsible for the missing persons?
I don't know. We haven't looked into it, but well, the missing persons are all from here, from Clermont.
They were last seen in the city here.
Aye, from what we can tell. But you never know. He could have gotten up to Fort Vignan, gone out anywhere really. People run away all the time.
Could be anything.
All right. Well, it's up to you guys. Do you guys want to go do harpies or do you want to do missing persons?
I'm liking the harpies,
if that's what you all would like to do, I'm happy to
but it's
look at these harpies as well.
I won't die in one place or another. It's all the same.
The harpies sound good.
haven't seen one before, so
Oh, they're mean bitches.
I've certainly heard.
Caustic poop. All right.
Because-
Thank you muchly. Well,
So, yes, if we were to look into these harpies, any other information other than the location you could give us?
Aye, well, we don't have much, but from what we heard, lots of voices, I don't know, lots of men getting drawn away from the village. You hear mostly in the dead of night, drawn away from the village and never to be heard from again.
See, and you said this was a day out, so if we left relatively soon, you figured we would make it to the area before nightfall?
Aye, probably, if you left early, if you left now.
I see. And you said there's a village nearby that people are being drawn away from?
Aye.
Right. And I assume there's somewhere that we can make lodgings in that village?
Aye, you're gonna want to go to, it's called Norwich. It's a town in the mountains.
Alright.
And he,
Alright.
he points you again, and you see there is like a little dot on the map, and it says Norwich.
well, let's go clear the harpies for Connor here.
Well, if there are no objections from you, Branagor, then happy to go along.
Oh yeah, I'm interested in these harpies, and I wondered if you could just give us some brief description of the missing persons. Perhaps these harpies are responsible. So maybe we could kill 2 birds with 1 stone. No pun intended.
If we could at least get the names, yeah, we could
Aye.
keep an eye out.
Now that would be something. 2 birds, 1 stone. I'd like to see that.
There you go.
Yeah, you can see like it probably went over his head when you said that. He was just kind of like mulling through his papers and things like that. So it seems here we get a Mr. Edgar Caldwell. Human, about 5'10". Bulky, brown hair, short.
Who reported him missing?
'Twas his wife.
How long ago?
His wife, Martine. And this was probably, and he's like mulling again. He's like mulling through the paperwork because it's a decent stack. It's probably like 1.5 inches thick, and he's just kind of like mulling through it. Sees about 4 days ago on this one.
All right, then. He was last seen in the walls by his wife.
That's what it says.
All right. Next one.
Hold on one second. Oh, sorry, I was like writing stuff down in mine. Aye, and we have a Fosco. Fosco Hayville. Halfling. Looks like scruffy, dirty blonde hair. Has a scar on his left arm.
How long's he been missing for?
It says here about 2 weeks.
From the same area of town? Or...
Hey, these are all from the same spot. Well, these two anyway.
I see then. And the last one, you said 3?
Hey, the last one is actually from our gates here. We have a Mr. Thar Ingram. Apparently a half-orc. Been missing for about 1 week. 8 days to be exact. He lives out there in the outer regions. And he like kind of gestures like to the general direction of like outside the stone gate.
Alrighty.
Okay. Yes. So we will definitely keep a lookout.
Well, do you want a description of the half-orc, or are you going to the...
Oh.
Yeah.
are
Oh
you going
yes.
to Norwich?
Sorry. I believe we're
That's
going to Norwich, but
Aye, either way. And he tucks it back in the stack. Yeah, he said that sorry, the half-orc, the last one is actually from Cremont.
okay.
Alrighty then. So, you guys decide, are we leaving now to go towards the Harpies, or are we going to do the missing persons here? Or... I don't think they're related. If two of them have gone missing in the city, I'm sure there would have been reports of Harpies in the city if they'd done both. Probably just where rats or alligators or turtles in the sewer or something.
Yeah, we haven't seen any harpies up this way.
I see. By the way, do you have the address? You said Edgar and Fosco disappeared in about the same area, you said?
Aye, from the same town. You'll see. It's a small town.
I see. They're both from Norwich, you said. I must have missed that. Apologies.
Oh, okay. So they're the missing people are from Norwich.
So
I thought the
those
missing people were
ones
like from
may
this
be
town.
related to the Harpies.
Might be then. All right.
I'd figure we
makes me a
should
little
head down there and investigate the harpies would be a larger priority then.
Aye. From what we've heard, they believe it's the harpies. They've seen other folk go to the mountains and mostly come back.
All right.
All right. Would you all like to leave today then to go investigate them?
Sure,
If we can, if everybody has their everything they need.
Yeah, I'm ready. Whenever y'all are.
I left
I'm ready. I'm ready.
my horse
I'm
and all
ready.
of them back in the stables. I might go run over, transfer him over to the Augusto estate. But other than that, I'm ready to go.
Yes, go kiss your horse goodbye. Let's.
Okay. So yeah. So, um, and you know that I suppose it's not a big deal. At some point, you needed to go pick up your stuff for the horse.
Right. Yeah. I just figured.
Actually,
Yeah. When I went over, I would just show that I have the sigil and just ask them to set that aside for me.
yeah, which is fine. I'm mostly just letting you know, just reminding you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna go find an outhouse and have a drink. I'll catch up with you guys in a bit, or you can grab me. Be right back.
Speaking of the horse, well, he's gone real quick. Just speaking of the horse, I know we talked some about the horse, about like the training and whatnot. We're gonna throw together another token for it, right? At some point.
Yeah, at some point. I haven't done it yet, but yeah, we'll throw a token out there for it. I
Yeah.
have actually no, I believe I might even have riding horse in there. So, if not, no big deal. No, I just have warhorse skeleton. So, whatever. I have tokens. I can just drop a token down and then I'll make an actual like sheet for it at some point.
Okay. Well, I'm probably not going to be using it this session, so we can hold
Yeah.
off on that. I just wanted to like make a note of all the equipment that it had on its like a sheet, but I'll just make a note somewhere else for that instead.
Okay. So it takes, like I said, it takes about 3 days to get to your meeting spot. 2 weeks is 14, so you have about 11 days at this point to like be back in Kermont. Just so you know, so you have like a timeline.
Oh, actually, no. So I just thought of this. I'm gonna bring my horse with us down to this other town, seeing as it's so close, so that if we have any days down there, like if this ends up being a multi-day thing, then I can spend a bit of time training it while we're waiting around before we do other tasks.
Okay. So what he did tell you as well is that, I mean, this is like hilly mountainous area, so you're free to take the horse, but it may be difficult or slow going. Like you're not going to be really galloping, or you might have to walk the horse most of the way.
Yeah, there's no problem with that since the rest of party doesn't have mounts.
Yeah,
I'm
I
not
mean
going
the
to be
rest of are
speeding.
walking anyway.
Yeah, I just wanted to keep it with me so I could train it if we end up being there more than one day.
Then we could probably,
Okay.
if it's a day's travel, we could probably do a little bit on the way.
Right. Okay.
Yeah, just get it
And
used to riding and whatnot.
it does know like basic commands because you bought the riding horse, so they've already done training to it. It
Right,
doesn't
yeah.
know you, and it doesn't know like any sort of battle-y stuff. You know what I mean? It knows basic things like how to like move, how to stay.
Of course, right.
You might need to like train it how to calm down, things like that. But it knows
Yeah.
very basic commands.
Yeah, but having it ride with us will like get it used to like sounds of armor and whatnot, people marching along.
We'll teach it to fetch.
All right. So, are there any other preparations before you guys go that you can think of?
No, yeah, I'm just gonna run over to the Augusto stables, just grab all the riding equipment.
Okay, no problem. It's not the Augusto stables. You have to go to a different stable, but it's fine. Like it's the same deal. You
Okay.
just go across town to the stable where you purchased the horse. There's like one place that had some horses in Kermont.
Right. Yeah, just grab that, then go to the Augusta stables to pick up like the equipment and whatnot that they promised me, because he said that was at the estate, right?
The equipment was ready to be picked up at the stables. Like it was ready to be picked up. It hadn't been picked up or anything like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, but
So
that was
you-
at the inn that equipment was, right? The inn stables. What's his name there?
Yeah, the end
Don't worry about
stables.
that.
Okay, so the end stables, that is for the Augusto business residence.
Yeah, that's
what
where
have you.
that's where he's picking up the horse armor and stuff, right?
No, That's where they keep their stock, their animals. And then there's
Oh,
like
okay.
an
I'm
actual
understanding now
there's
what
an
you're talking
actual
about.
like stable master in the city. When you were scoping out the city looking for horses, that's where you found one at the stable master. So he contacted the stable master and was like, "Hey, we're gonna need this stuff per your request." And he was saying that
Oh,
the
okay.
armor
Right.
needed to be
Okay.
custom made, so it's not going to be ready, but everything else you should be able to go there and pick it up, and that's why he gave you his symbol, in order to to show like it's your mark of like put it on Augusto's tab.
Got it. Okay. Perfect. That works then. Then yeah, that's all I have to do is run over, grab the horse, mount up the saddle.
Yeah.
The only preparation I need is preparation H for those long rides.
All right.
All right.
Right. Yeah. If that's it, then I'm ready to head off. Unless Brandagor or Felix have some stuff that they have to get ready.
No, I'm good.
Yeah, I'm good here.
All right. So you guys head out, and hold on one second. So you guys can move that flag. So what I'm gonna have you guys do is, you guys are moving down to the town. I moved it to the last hex because that's kind of more where it is.
Yeah, that's fine. I'll just put it wherever.
And yeah, so what I'm gonna have you do is, I said this last time, Ed, what my rules are for traveling. So what I'm gonna have everybody do is, like, one person roll a d6 per hex that you move. On a 6, you guys have an encounter. It doesn't mean it's a battle. It just means
All right.
like it could be any number of things. It could be you get lost, something happens. Like, it could be a good thing, could be a bad thing.
Cool.
An event happens.
So I don't know, whoever wants to go. I don't know if maybe at some point we'll just make an order, but I have no preference. So whoever wants to roll.
Go ahead, noble guy. You can
All
roll
right.
it.
So then we'll have another person roll for the next hex. We'll say Ed. Just roll a d6.
Oh.
All right. Ah,
Okay. So about midday, um, you guys are traveling, and to this point there's no real problems. Um, so at this point you get to a spot where there's like 3 or 4 paths in the mountains, in the hills, and they all go slightly same direction, and when you look forward there's like a path that goes like kind of straight ahead, and it's like an S. There's a path to the left that looks like it goes left, and then it starts to turn right, and then it goes out of sight. And then there's another path that's right that goes kind of like up and then slightly curves down. So you're not really sure which one goes where.
I knew we should have bought that map.
Figures no need to go up the mountain, so I figured we'll just go straight, seeing as it seems the one most level with where we're going.
I'm gonna pop out Orba and have him fly like 100 feet up, and so I can get a kind of a aerial view and see if there's anything clearly wrong with any of the paths, anything clearly better on any of them.
You see, as I'm trying to remember his name. What's the owl's name again?
Orbit.
Yeah, okay. You see, as orbits the paths, um, that they kind of they interweave each other, and as far as he can see, the right path kind of goes like far left, The other two seem to like go straight and somewhat in tandem, but it's hard to tell exactly just based on that. So for the other two paths, just because it's very hilly. So unless he were to like fly way out, which I don't know off the top of my head if the familiar has a range or if you just wait.
I have
20
100 feet range of communication with it.
Right. So it would be
It's-
like he has a decent vantage point, but it's still hilly. So it was like enough to rule out like one of the paths for sure, because it just swings far left.
And
Okay, that one doesn't seem to go in the right direction. So one of these
Um,
two.
the familiar as well also has a minimal intelligence of like 3 or 4.
It's
So
not
about
the
the
smartest.
intelligence of a dog. Oh no, it can.
Well,
it
I
can
was
fly
looking
like
through
miles
its
out.
eyes.
Yeah, but if you want to tell it if you can actually communicate with it there, if you want to tell it to fly 15 minutes down the path or fly as high as it can and look and then come back and tell you. And it's not going to say there's 3 men and a dog over there in a city, but it'll tell there's group for there's a city ahead with lots of people in it type thing, or it's not going to say the guy's wearing a red shirt and he's got an axe, but it'll give you at least vague impressions of what's ahead.
what is the? There's a 2 int.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I'm gonna have him scout a couple minutes up ahead and see if it makes a difference.
The gully.
Okay.
So I try my best to convey what we're trying to do and try to look ahead and see which of these paths looks better, I guess.
One has a city at the end.
Okay. So and
Town.
yeah. So just so you know, and you can see from this point, they do interconnect at points, but it's very hilly. It's very hard to see unless like. Yeah, I suppose
I
if
go
you fly,
way, yeah.
if he would have to fly like way, way, way up, and it would take a decent amount of time.
Okay, so
in
let's just go up to, because these two intersect a couple times. Let's go up until there's a clear split, because so we could go to like the next intersection down. That
Right.
should make a difference.
In that case, I suggest we just take the flatter looking one.
Yeah, that'll be better on the horse and our feet at least.
Which would be the straightaway. Was the straight path
Sounds good to
is
me.
a little flatter.
Alrighty.
So you go up a slight incline again. It's fairly smooth, and you go like up and over. You flatline a little bit, and about I don't know, possibly like a third to a half of a mile or so. You guys go up, and you guys intersect the other path again. You see it just kind of goes in. Now at this point, there's two. The left path comes up, crosses the middle, and then goes over to the right slightly. And at this point, you can't see the town. There's no like signs or anything that you see. Signs being like wood post signs.
Felix,
Nothing
if
that
you
tells
wanna,
us for sure which way to go.
Felix, if you want to send up your familiar again real quick, see if we have
Yeah,
any
yeah,
idea.
I'm keeping him up in the air and just, I guess I'm popping back into his eyesight, and so you said it seems like the left-hand path was kind of cutting, is now the right-hand path. It crossed over, kind of.
Yeah, so there's initially the right hand path kind of goes up and then comes around and swings wide left. The left path comes up and about a half a mile down where you are now, kind of connects back with the middle path briefly, and then like starts to go right. That's what you can see. And the straight path, it kind of does more of like an S number, but it stays fairly straight, going possibly a little bit to the left.
Sorry, wait. So are there 3 paths in front of us? Would it be easier to just like draw something real quick?
So there's currently 2 paths because we ruled one out, correct?
Right. There are 3 paths still, but
But one's way off.
you know that one of them, like right now where you're at, it veers way off. Like it goes over to like there.
Yeah, okay.
So let me see.
Okay, so we got one that's keeping kind of true, and one that's way out, one that's keeping kind of true, and one that's kind of waving a bit and heading the other way.
Yeah. So the one that's on the right that crosses over, that one's done and gone. You know that one's probably not the one you want. Looking straight ahead, it does more of an S number and stays fairly straight. And the path to your left that intersects, it kind of crosses over, starts going to the right a little bit.
Can I ask something about when Durrell, when he showed us the map, was it very detailed?
It was about mostly as detailed as this. There was a few more, like there was just markings. There was a dot on his map that just said Norwich, and he pointed to it. It was like right here.
Okay.
But you guys can like if you would like to, you could make a check, like possibly like a nature check, or you guys can look around for tracks. Like there's various things that you could do. Um,
Does anybody have
wanted to, like,
nature?
So,
skill or
so
tracking?
Branagor, what do you think?
I could take a look around.
Yeah, perhaps perhaps one of these paths has a bit more travel marks on it, more footsteps and whatnot. That
Yeah,
might
spending a
show that
couple
there's more
minutes
people
here.
traveling between these 2 villages and not going off into some outlying area where perhaps some hermit or something lives.
right. So Branagor, if you'd like to, you can make a nature check, and then I'd say Felix, you're kind of occupied. You're doing your thing with the owl.
Yeah.
But
And I'll do a guidance on him to give him a +4 or a +1 to 4.
okay. And then
Oh,
Alan,
thank you.
if you wish, you could make something like probably a like an investigation check.
Okay, I'll make that then.
We'll go with the 4 from Ed because it's like his ability. So
Okay.
yeah, you're a little out of your element, Alan. You're kind of like wandering around and you're checking, but you don't really know what to check for. You're just kind of like, oh well, what way are we going? So you take a few minutes, and you're also you're trying to like handle the horse at the same time, so it's not really very feasible for you at this second. And you see Elephim, he's like looking around, and yeah, Elephim, you see, you're kind of like you walk down each path just a little bit, and you do see there's tracks down the path that was from the left originally that crosses over into the right. You do see some more activity, some more tracks. You see like scuff marks on the rocks and like just various things that indicate that it seems like that is more traveled.
Most used.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay. This right path is it's definitely used more often. I would guess this would lead to the town. That's my
Works for
best.
me.
That's my best guess.
Okay, well, I think that's the best we got.
Yeah, if there's
More
no
of a guess than I have.
better evidence, then might as well take that path.
Yep, let's go. I'm gonna keep orbit kind of up above, and every so often I'm gonna pop in and look ahead a little bit.
Okay, fair enough. So you guys travel down the originally left path that now goes right, and it doesn't take you terribly long. I'll have one of you guys just roll another d6. You guys are like technically on this hex where it is, but it's mostly like in that cross section between the 3 hexes. Yours, it's in the mountains. It's kind of like more in the middle, like right there.
So go ahead, person who hasn't rolled yet.
Yeah, so
Branagor will go ahead.
yeah, Brandon. Yep. Okay. Cool. So and it goes pretty uneventfully. You have Orbit. He's looking around and um, he or she it uh, looking around
He?
and
I'm gonna say he.
it doesn't take you very long to see the village once you start approaching. There's the path widens a little bit eventually, and it comes to like a large clearing. Like it's right at like the base of these mountains, and it's very hilly. It's almost like you're in a small ravine, and then it opens up towards the end of it, and you see that there are it's definitely a smaller town. You see probably 20 or 25 or so structures. Just a quick estimate from orbit through his eyes. You see most of them are built with like there's a lot of stonework mixed with woodwork. Um, it's just kind of whatever materials they had from the land, whatever they had surrounding them, is what they used to build their homes. Very quiet. You see like the smokestacks on the chimneys. Um, they're all going, and you see some people in the streets doing various things like pulling goats and whatnot. Seems like a very low key kind of village.
Okay, I guess we're gonna head in and try to find someone important looking.
All right.
I suggest we see if there's a small guard post or something.
Yeah.
All right. So just 1 second here, only because, or if somebody else wants to do it, just write Nordwich or Norwich, Norwich, just like a little text box underneath the house. So yeah, you guys, it doesn't take you very long. Like this is a very small village, and it like immediately as soon as people notice you're there, it's like kind of all eyes on you. Like they're still working, but they're just like, who are these people? We don't know you. Um, and you're decked out in, like armored and you're weaponed, and um, you see one female approaches you, and she comes up. Hello. How may I help you? Are you lost?
Greetings, citizen.
Hello, we were inquiring with the guard up in Claremont about any troubles in the surrounding area, and we heard that there was some missing persons related to a harpy problem around here. Do you know anything of it?
Ah, you're from Cremont then.
Indeed.
Excellent. And at that, she like claps her hands a little bit, and you can see she has this big smile. You've come to help us.
That's what we hope to do, as long as we can have some information about where the harpies might be, what might have happened to these missing persons.
Well, okay. So as far as I know, um, hold on here. Fosco and Edgar were both seen leaving the town up that path, and you see. And again, this is like a very small village, so it's pretty much easy to see like everything from this point. There's another smaller path that kind of you see like winds up out of sight, with like the mountains on the horizon. Yeah, they went up that path, and as far as we know, it was in the middle of the night. Nobody's seen from since.
Why would they go up in the middle of the night?
Yeah, do we have any idea why they were heading up there?
I don't know. Some say that there's sweet songs at night. Some voice of a beautiful maiden, and at that she kind of like rolls her eyes. but I don't know.
Oh no, it's Susan Boyle.
I've,
Oh,
I'm sorry,
so
I
they
don't
may
know
have
who that
been
is.
charmed. It's a singer up in Shen. Um,
Ah, okay. And I thought she kind of
nothing.
like her eyes glaze over a bit. She's not really sure. She nods her head and smiles.
Awesome. That's the way I like my women.
Anyways, is there? Do you know if there's anyone else in the town who may know more, or is this about all that anyone knows?
Well, you can always check in. Fosco didn't have any next of kin. I'm not sure, but
Where does
Edgar,
Mr. Copeland's wife live?
over there, and she points over to more of like a smaller kind of hovel, huttish looking building. Probably one of the less sturdy looking ones.
All right.
Right. Thank you
Let's
for
go
the
over and ask some
information, ma'am.
questions.
Of course, and thank you again. And she like grabs your hands and just like looks right at you, and hopefully you can find them before it's too late.
It would be better for us all if they were found.
And
We'll
at that
do our best.
she kind of like just bows deeply, and she runs off to she was pulling like a couple of goats with her, and she like excitedly goes up to them and um, like starts petting them, and like goes down and gives them something from her hand, and like starts pulling them off. So
Giggity.
you guys approach this smaller hovel, and it's mostly just like stacked together stone. You can see like some clay, but there wasn't enough to make the whole house, so it's only like maybe a third to a half of the way up this little structure is stone, and then the rest is like larger branches or twigs, stuff like that, and like a mostly like straw top. It's pretty much like whatever could be scavenged was used to make this place.
Okay. By the way, just a quick question about what time is it now? Is it getting towards like dusk at this point?
Yeah, for sure. At this point, it is because you got 3. Um, yeah, at this point, it's probably around supper time. It's probably about like 5 or 6 o'clock. And this time of year, it's like the sun hasn't completely set, but it's on its way. It's crested
Be
over,
soon.
and it's fairly soon. You can see the skies become more of like a deep set orange.
All right. Let's go knock on the door there and talk to wifey.
Yeah. I'll start walking like a bit ahead, do some light knocks while calling out. Hello, is this the wife of Edgar, the man who went missing recently?
Oh, 1 minute, 1 minute. And you hear like a scuffling from the other side of the door, and just someone just darts up to the door and swings it open.
Take a small step back to give her some space.
You see a kind of a not really well taken care of female human, and she has like this dirty, long uh, brunette hair, and just again like very kind of dirty looking. Um, she has mostly rags on. Yes, you you're here for Edgar. You're gonna find him.
Indeed,
We're
we've
going to do
just
our
recently
best.
come from Kermont. We heard about the missing persons and the problem with the harpies. We figured they might be related, so we're here to do our best to find these missing persons and ensure this doesn't happen again. However, for that, we require a bit of information. Is there anything you remember from the night that your husband went missing?
Yes, of course. Come in. And she's again like at this point the door's like swung open, so she like pushes it open like I don't know a few inches more, and then scurries off into the hut. And it's not very large. It's probably like a 12 by 15 foot like rectangle, and there's just like a small clay stove that obviously goes up to the chimney stack, the small chimney stack, and there's like a fire pit in the middle, and you see she's just like pushing stuff out of the way to make room for your guys. She
Felix,
grabs
if you
she she grabs like a haggard-looking broom and is just like sweeping up real quick. My
Oh,
apologies for
don't
the
clean up
mess.
on our account.
Felix,
Don't
if you
worry, I
could
have 7
begin
kids.
asking about this, I'll tie up my horse real quick and come in.
Yeah. Yeah. So the night your husband went missing. Is there anything you can tell us? Any information at all that would help us find him, find these harpies? Anything of use we could get going out?
Yes. Um, I remember it was a clear night. The stars were out. Not a cloud in the sky.
Okay.
And
Now, it was how many days ago your husband disappeared?
at this, by my count, probably about nine or so, 9, 10 maybe.
And did your husband have any enemies in town? Anybody mad at him? Or
No, nothing like that. He he was always very, very kind, and it's a very tight knit community here in Norwich. We all kind of have to band together to survive.
I see. And I'm going to assume I
He
come in at this
hangs
point.
around with at nights? Does he has friends that he goes out drinking with? Or someone else that may have seen him that night?
As far as I know, nobody else saw him except for me.
Did he
I,
disappear from the house? Or
Yes, what I remember is waking up to I could hear a song of some sort, someone singing. Is beautiful, and when I woke up, um, Edgar was gone. So I threw the door open and ran out looking for him, and I could see him far up the path. I yelled out for him, but I don't know. It was something was wrong. He just kept walking, and at some point I just lost track of him. I'm not sure where he went.
all right,
How
and
often do you hear these songs at night? Is it just the? Was it just the one, or is it ever so often, all the time?
It's usually ever so often. Some people are drawn up towards the mountains, and I mean we're not supposed to go up there.
I see. Is this because of the harpies?
Yes,
is there
of
known
course.
harpies in the area? Like people actually know it? Suspects that it's harpies up there.
Yes.
Well-
Have there been physical sightings, or just the sounds?
Well, as near as we can tell, um, that's what we think it is. We've seen at night large winged creatures. They look, human, maybe larger. Some say that they're beautiful women with wings.
I see. And how long have these sightings and these songs been happening for?
Well, um, as far back as I can remember, but it seems like lately they've gotten more and more.
I see. Does the rest of you have any more questions?
And you can see as she's like kind of preparing other things while you're doing that, she's still like kind of sweeping up and trying to like make room for everybody. And she brings over like 3/4 of a like loaf of bread and just starts cutting up and slicing it and putting some like thicker, it looks like lard or butter or something. And she just hands out, would any of you like something to eat?
Well, it would be appreciated. We do not mean to intrude upon you, especially while you're having so recently lost your husband. Speaking of that, though, do you know Is there a small inn or anything here in the town where we can make lodgings for the night?
Well, possibly we can talk with the others. There's nothing like that here, um, but you could possibly stay. You could stay here. Um, I can clear some space. I have a
That'd
few
be great.
friends even possibly. They might welcome you.
That'd be great. This looks like a nice place to stay. But you must allow me to pay you for the night to stay.
No, I really I couldn't.
Oh no, that's
After all,
okay. And I
you've
dig
come
out a
all the
gold
way
piece and hand it to her.
and like at that she kind of like her jaw just drops.
I get expenses anyway, so
Good sir, you traveled all the way from Kermont. I really couldn't. And you can see, like she's saying that, but her eyes are just fixed on the gold coin in your hand.
yeah, you know what? I give it to her anyway. That's okay, my dear, because I would have spent it at an inn or someplace else anyway. And this looks a mite cozier than any inn would be.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much. I can't. And you can see like she's starting to tear up a little bit, and like her hands are shaking, and she just looks just genuinely appreciative.
I would have gambled it away anyway.
Well, it would be lovely to stay here. Would having all of us not crowd you? Is there any other friends, for example, that we could go stay in their homes as well? Perhaps just divide us up 2 by 2.
Well, there's you're here to find him anyway. Fosco, um, his place is abandoned. He didn't have any folk here. I'm sure he wouldn't mind.
I suppose
Yeah.
you can take up residences there as well.
Martine, was it?
Yes.
Now,
I just
And
wanted
you
to
are?
ask. I don't have a name in these parts. Usually I go by Brannigore.
Branagor. Nice to meet you.
Uh, it's good to see you. We are interested in helping you. I just have two questions. How how long ago would you say you reported this to Kermont?
Immediately. Um, we sent one of our own to, or several of our own to go up to Kermont.
Okay, and actually, that's all I would like to ask about.
Okay. Well, if you need anything else, let me know. Anything to help find Edgar. I don't know what I'd do without him.
Actually, one more thing. You said the harpies have been in the area for quite some time. Do you happen to know, do you have any intuition as to why it's only been recently that they have started uh, abducting these people?
I don't know. Um,
Okay.
we've always we we've never really known what they were. We always heard the songs, but we knew it wasn't right to go up in the mountains.
yeah, I don't blame you. Probably still not right, but we'll go anyway.
Well, I'd like to look around outside if y'all want to come and look, or if y'all want to stay here.
All right.
I'll come take a look. I don't think we should fully head out the path until the morning, though.
I agree. I'm going to actually go tend to my horse and just go find where
You guys check out
Fosco's
what's
house
his name's
is.
house. Yeah.
Just
I
poke around, see if there's anything amiss, and if not, just get it ready. I suppose I'll just ready it, see if there's some supplies to make a second bed there, and whoever of you can join me over there later tonight.
Okay. Uh, Throughout the whole conversation, uh, can I read if there's been anything fishy about this woman?
Okay, yeah, certainly. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Okay.
She seems very appreciative, very earnest.
Never mind that she's
Okay.
holding a bloody cleaver in her hand that had blood with her husband.
Okay.
Yeah, so as
I
far as you can tell, yeah, she just seems like a very humble, straightforward person.
don't wake up in the morning or you hear me stop snoring because she's put a pillow over my face. Come save me.
Well, at this point, I'm just going to turn to Martina. I'm just going to say, you've been a great help, and I'm sure the information you've given us will help us find your husband. But at this point, I need to go take care of my horse, so I'll be on my way. I do not want to place a burden upon you anymore.
No, no burden, kind sir, and of course, if you need anything, you let me know, okay? I have some spare blankets for your horse and just anything really that I can do.
Thank you very much. Though, seeing as we're occupying Mr. Fosco's house, I think I'll just commandeer one or two of his blankets if it's going to be too windy tonight.
Okay.
And yeah, at that point, I'm just gonna head out, grab my horse. I'm gonna head over to investigate Fosco's house.
Okay.
Yeah, we'll go
Is it
over with him
just
to investigate.
okay? So everybody's going. Is anybody staying
Yeah.
behind?
I'm going.
Oh,
Uh,
yeah, we'll all go investigate.
Sure. Make sure that's on the up and up, and then
I'll give her an extra silver
Start
and
from
ask her to get some ingredients to make sewer supper or something.
Of course. And like at that, she like takes the silver and she pockets it, and yeah, she kind of dusts herself off a little bit and goes and like when you go, you can see like she goes and like goes off in another direction down to some of the other clumps of like houses and whatnot. So you guys, um, you asked her where it was, right? Where
Yeah.
Fosco's residence?
Which one was his? And
Oh, I assume she pointed out when
Yeah.
she mentioned it.
So yeah, we'll say she pointed it out before you guys kind of split paths, and she pointed up again. It's a very small, mostly compact. So you see one of the residences, which is peculiarly like almost right next to the path that Edgar went up. It's probably, I don't know, maybe 10 yards away from that path. You see a very sturdy, like a much sturdier, more well built establishment. It's kind of like stone, cobble, and like mortar, um, pretty much all the way up. It's like square, and it does have like a nice little chimney stack that comes up. Nice wooden door. So and you can see at this point that obviously the lights are off. There's nobody there. The door is not locked.
I'm just gonna take a quick look around the outside of the building, just like the front and surrounding areas, to see it. There's nothing amiss from the outside, at least.
Yeah, go ahead and do an investigation check. Nice. Okay, so you notice first that the door is still slightly ajar, like it was never closed fully. And you're going around the back, and you see there is um, some footprints. It's almost like the road is I say the road, but the ground is very like stony, earthy, and you can still see like smaller footprints like leading off to the pathway. They don't go all the way up to the path that you can see noticeably. There's been other traffic, but you can see going from the door, walking out. And as you circle the building, nothing else really seems to be amiss. You do see, like, out back, there's a small pot that has various, it seems to be herbs of some sort growing, and you just see there's no windows in this residence. It's just like solid built, and there's like a wooden barrel in the back as well. When you inspect the barrel, it seems to just be filled with some sort of liquid. It looks like water of some sort, dew or whatever was collected.
Take a quick taste of it, see if there's anything
Yeah,
fishy about the water in there.
no, it just tastes like normal water. It doesn't seem to be any indication
Rainwater
otherwise.
collection.
Yeah, and it's very like I don't know how to describe it unless you've had like water that comes like from like a natural well or mountains or whatnot, but it's very like minerally, and it just tastes very very fresh. Again, I'm trying to think of the words to describe it, but my dad lived in the mountains, so I'm like, yeah, it tastes just like that. But anyway, just
Water
very
without chlorine. Woo.
pretty much.
All right. Anything in the house looking like a struggle happened, or that he left in a hurry? Any items packed, things like that?
No, and that's one of the peculiar things which makes you I'm not going to say how your character feels, but it seems as though the story might be true. All you see is like the covers of his bed. He's got like a straw bed. Of course, it's smaller because he's a halfling. But um, yeah, it just seems like the covers are folded over. Um, you can even see that there are slippers right next to the bed. They weren't used, and um, nothing. Everything else seems untouched. Looking around, you see like he has a satchel and some packs of sorts. There's just various things that he could have taken with him if he needed to. You see some like hunting, like a knife and a small short bow.
Alrighty.
But nothing else seems disturbed. Seems like everything is in its proper place, with the exception of Fosco himself.
Alrighty. Looks like we might be dealing with something supernaturally or extra creaturely.
Indeed, it seems no one's come in or out since Fosco's departure a few weeks ago.
Yes, it seems like they've been, or it sounds at least that they've been charmed by this harpy and led up there. Not sure if we have anything specific we can do to deal with that kind of charm effect, but
Think good thoughts. Anybody have any earwax?
I have an extra set of
Silent
clothes.
spell.
I think I'm going to pile that around my head a bit before I go to sleep tonight.
we should keep watch.
If you're sleeping in where I am, you won't have to worry about the song. Ha ha ha.
It's not that's not a horrible idea.
There's something weird about this story, though. It could be nothing. It could just be a mistake on the guard's part, but I believe Martine. She seemed trustworthy. But she said that she reported her husband 9 days ago, immediately. And the guard at Kermont said he went missing 4 days ago. Again, it could just be some error, but just doesn't check out.
Could be bureaucracy and such. Or maybe the
I mean,
villagers...
it took them at least a day to get there.
Yeah, perhaps
There's one point.
it took them some time to get into contact with the guard, perhaps.
Yeah, true. And she also said these harpies have been around, and she specifically said that they've been singing this. They've been known to sing for a long time, and it's just recently that their song has had this effect on people. So that's odd as well.
Well, we can
But
question a few other
I don't-
townspeople.
I don't know what to make of it right now.
Indeed, maybe if we ask some people who aren't so connected with the disappearances, just see if there's anything up with, say, Martine, since her husband has disappeared beyond what you would expect of a mourning wife.
Is there like a little inn or something in this town?
No, she said that there was no inn, but we were free to stay in Fosco's house or in her house.
Is there a mayor in the town?
I don't believe we've asked at this point.
Well, then let's just go to one of her neighbors there, maybe a couple houses down. Walk on there and ask.
Agree. I'm just gonna tie my horse up out here outside Fosco's house before we do that. But other than that, I'll follow along.
Okay,
I-
easy enough.
You said there were Fosco's shoes were on the floor. He didn't take his shoes.
First.
Yeah, there's slippers
Slippers.
right next to the bed, untouched.
Does he
That
have
seemed-
any actual shoes, or do they look like house slippers?
Yeah, looking around, there are like actual boots. I just meant like right next to the bed, like, and you can see because the house is a little dusty. There's like footprints, and his feet are like maybe 8 inches away from these slippers. Like he could have easily put them on. And then you can see
Okay.
walking out. But yeah, looking around, you see everything of his seems untouched. There are like a nice pair of leather boots, just right by the doorway, as well as all of his other stuff. Like you'd see, he's got like a coat. He has like, what normal people would have. He also has like a bow and what looks to be like a hunting knife that's just laying on.
Left
the
without it
table.
all.
This does seem consistent with some sort of charm.
Yeah.
He left without any intent, and there was no struggle.
What time of year is it? I imagine it's
Uh,
pretty cold up in those hills.
Yeah, it's fairly chilly just being in like a mountainous region. At this point, it's kind of like this region is generally warm. Like there's like a shorter winter, but and even that it's very mild. It's usually a warmer climate, but up here in the mountains, and you would know this anyway, just because you've gone to Kerman a lot, that it does get chilly in the mountains at night.
I do want to take his boots and his coat and stick them in my backpack.
Okay.
If we find him, he
You
might.
intending to rob the man, or are we bringing it to him?
Quiet.
Well, hopefully we find him alive,
True.
Needs him.
and if we do, he's going to be cold.
It's a good point. Not something I considered. So it's a good idea to bring him along, yes.
Yeah, we know because your mind is in. Oh, let's take it and sell it. Yeah, that's it. Nope. Right. Are we gonna bother going around questioning a few other people, or are we just gonna rest up and head out in the morning?
About how late is it at this point?
It was probably about roughly like 5:30, 6 o'clock ish when you strolled into town. You went around talking to people, and I normally do like 1 minute of talking is like 1 minute in game time, right? You explored some stuff. So at this point, there is still light in the sky, but it's more of like a lighter blue, like the sun is setting right now. So
I'm satisfied with the information we have right now.
Yes. I would like to just spend the rest of the daylight just working with my horse a little bit before going to sleep.
okay, at this point, because the days here are still somewhat longer, you probably have about 45 minutes or so. We'll call it an hour because you said you want to spend about an hour. So you got like 45 minutes to an hour to take your horse. Is there anything specific you're looking to do? Are you just looking to just keep familiarizing yourself, or is there like a certain action or anything that you're looking to do?
Maybe just what's called just clapping like the metal parts of my armor together kind of loudly as we're riding it, just like get it to do maneuvers and stuff while making loud noises around it. A bit away from the town, not like way out, but just so that I'm not bothering other people while doing that.
Okay,
Can I?
it's almost like this is like a clearing in the hilly mountains area. So there's not really going much outside the town unless you go like down the path you came from or up the other path. Um, just so you know. So it's wide.
Yeah.
It's certainly wide enough near the town where you could do that, like going back and forth. But just so you know, they would be kind of going back where you came from a little bit.
I
Right,
look
yeah.
at the horsey and say, "Here, horsey, horsey, come here."
Yeah, could I go with him and like I have speak with animals prepared. I kind of want to cast it as a ritual and
Yep.
just uh
Talk to the horse.
yeah. There's nothing I specifically want to do. I just want to like ask Alan like I kind of be a translator.
Okay. So fair enough.
I say this, you do this.
So
Don't worry about these noises.
and that makes it much easier for the horse because obviously he's translating. So go ahead and make an animal handling check with advantage. I'm gonna also lower the DC.
I'll give it guidance on him too.
Oh,
Oh. No, you talk to the horse. You don't talk to the rider.
So you see the horse has been I don't want to say like super stubborn to you because it has been trained as a riding horse. It does let you on, but you start clacking your armor together, and even though Branagor is trying to talk to him, it's still it's still a horse. So he starts bucking wildly and just does not like that one bit. Um, he kicks you off, and you attempt several times, but at this point the horse has been kind of riled up. It's not like he's darting off or anything at this point, but
I walk up to the horse with a couple of sugar cubes in my hand. Come here, horsey.
so at this point, like you guys are trying, and the sun is starting to go down. It takes a little while to calm the horse down because again he's not really used to you, but it's not that you can't do it because you have Branagor there helping like talk to him, calm him down, but it does take a little bit. And then Cleese comes over, offers the sugar cubes, which the horse takes and helps to calm him down. Eventually gets to the point where you could get on and ride him again. The sun at this point is like dwindling, very shadowy, just enough light to kind of see maybe, you know, not.
I
Much,
think
but
maybe we'll put
30
this
feet in
off
front
for
of you.
tomorrow.
Indeed. Training it too much will just rile it up and it won't help it any. So thank you very much for your help, both of you. I'm sure once the horses become a bit more familiar with all of us, it'll be a bit easier to train. This is the first day
How many
I've had it
horses
after
have
all.
you been on, boy?
Plenty before, though. Wasn't exactly the stable master back home.
Just remember, a horse is like a woman. Doesn't say no, doesn't mean yes, or something like that. Anyway. All right, back to town. Back to some stew or supper or soup or whatever she's made for supper.
I'll just bring the horse back to Fosco's house. I'll just eat some rations out of my pack instead of bothering Martine. I'll just start getting things ready and like help set up a second bed for whoever else is going to be staying in Fosco's house.
Okay, 10-4. So just real quick before we go over to Martin and Edgar's residence. So is anybody staying with Alan in Fosco's place?
I will, I guess, if we don't want to be like 1 and 3, want to split up 2 and 2, I guess.
Indeed, it wouldn't do to impose upon Martine too much with all of us, but with these charms going on, it would be best to not leave anyone alone.
Are there any elves in the party?
No.
Awesome.
We have 3 humans and
And a half elf.
Furbolg.
Furbolg or whatever.
Which I don't remember. Do
Oh.
furbolgs get dark vision?
No,
Oh, and I don't believe they're immune to charm either, like elves.
So yeah,
no, we can just talk to owls.
yeah.
Alrighty.
So, um, Alan, yeah, it's easy enough. You go into the Fosco's residence after tying up your horse. Maybe you give like a piece of your ration or whatever that's kicking around. Give her a little something or him a little something. You walk into the residence and begin settling down for the night. You do notice that there's like a looks like a dining table of sorts, just square wooden table. On there's a bowl, like a wicker basket, and it has a couple loaves of bread that are at this point just like hard and like molded over in places. And you do see that they're hanging from the walls. There's like dried herbs as well as some jerked meat of some sort. Um, and you sit down. You can feel free. You can light up the hearth, the stove to get it going.
Yeah, that's about all I'm gonna do is just light up the hearth, find some of my cookable rations, cook them up while disposing of like the clearly rotten foods or molded over foods that are in the house, and just try and leave other things as untouched as possible for now.
Yeah, I'm helping him out with that a little bit.
Okay, that's easy
Like I'll
enough.
light up the stove and stuff.
Yeah, and he has like a small wood stack. He's probably got like a dozen logs on the left of the hearth area. He's got like a two pokers, two like steel or iron pokers, whatever. So that's easy enough to light that up, and it starts to warm. And the dimensions of this place are roughly the same as the other residence, Martine's residence, but definitely a lot better quality. So you guys settle down for the night, and you cook up what cookable rations you have. Rations for the most part are things like cheese and jerky and like harder breads that keep for longer. Um, but I'm sure there's like fruit and whatever else. So the let's see here. So Cleese and Brandagor are at Martine and Edgar's residence. So yeah, you guys go back, and at this point you can smell like some sort of like sweeter stew, some sort of sweeter herbed stew, um, and she serves you like um, vegetable stew. It does have some chunks of like fattier chunks of I don't know if you know what it is. I'm sure you guys have eaten goat before, so it's goat meat.
Ooh, chewy, stringy, yum.
Mountainy area,
That's good exercise.
but it's definitely herbed, and it actually tastes fairly good.
Oh, amazing. I've never had goat prepared this good before. Usually it's tough and stringy. This one's just tough and stringy and herby. Yum.
I'm glad you like it.
Better
Anything
than
to
my
help?
mama could have cooked.
Well, thank you kindly.
Yeah, I thank you for the meal.
And she kind of bows, and she spends the dinner time, like she makes herself a small bowl and is kind of like like sipping it a little bit and eating some, but she's mostly just serving you, like she's waiting to see if like would you like seconds and things like that. Easy.
Now, we're not nobles or anything, Don't worry about us. You eat. Make sure you eat for yourself, too.
Of course, but there's more than enough. Whatever you want.
I think then at this point, does she have like firewood and stuff for the fire, or
Yeah, you can
logs and
see
stuff out back to cut up, or
stacked up against like the outside of the residence, there was a small wood stack.
already been cut, or
You can see like
cut
some
pile?
pieces have been cut, mostly uncut, and
All
there's
right.
like just a large stump next to the stack with a big
Oh.
hatchet axe.
I think after a filling meal like that, I need a bit of exercise. I'm gonna head outside and maybe bust up a few trees. And I'll go out and start cutting up some wood. Leave my gentler companion to wile her with tales of disbelievable.
And you can see she kind of bows and thanks you and continues to wait on Branagor while he's eating his supper.
Is she just standing there?
She's like I said, she's mostly like she's eating hers, but her attention is kind of on you. Like she's waiting for like any sort of cues. Like she offers like, can I get you something to drink? Would you like any more? She just various things like that.
Oh, I'll just talk to her. I don't really need anything. I'll just make small talk.
Okay. Is there anything that anybody else would like to do for
Oh,
like settling
did
down?
we have like a rough time of night when people hear this?
Um, if you
Midnight
ask
or
her, they've just said like vaguely it's just like during the night at some point. I mean, it's not like nowadays when it's like, oh, you wake up, it's like 11 o'clock, but it's sometime in the dead of night.
okay, so after everybody's normally gone to sleep, then so we can
Correct.
judge somewhere probably after midnight.
Yeah, more than likely, at least twilight, if not maybe past or.
Right.
Did we want to have a like watch for this?
I wouldn't mind having a watch, but it would work better if we were all in the same house. Because if we split up, then we're just gonna. Well,
Just have one person watch the road.
yeah, yeah. We don't need to have one person from each house on watch. We could just just one person at a time would still work.
Since me and Felix are in the nicer house, I guess we could each take like half the night to watch things.
Yeah, and there's no windows in Fosco's place, but it's only like 10 yards away from the opening of this path.
Yeah, like me and Felix could literally just like tug a chair out front, sit down. Maybe like Felix or me could like both be reading something or whatnot, while we just make sure no
Yeah.
one's coming past us since the house is so close to the path.
Yeah, well, that's fine.
All right. And the people in in Martine's house, what are you guys doing? If
After I
anything.
cut the wood, I start to snore.
Okay.
I can take a watch if it's like first watch or last watch or something like that.
I'll take the first one. I'm used to long nights up reading magic text.
Okay, I'll take a last watch if we want to split it up like that.
Well,
They'll do
I
that.
mean,
I'll
I
wake
figured it was just going to be me and Felix do it because
Oh yeah.
we're probably not going to be. We can head out a bit later tomorrow. Like Felix can get like most of a night's sleep, and I can take like a quick nap after my watch, and then we can like you guys can maybe do a little bit more asking around while I take a quick nap or just eat breakfast and get yourself ready, and then we can head out after like an hour or so to go and investigate the heart piece.
Okay. I'm gonna sleep with something over my head. If something fishy comes up, just come bang on the door.
It's just the girl from the market if you smell something fishy. That's all.
I'm going to be doing the same thing actually, since I have a spare set of clothes while I'm going to sleep for the first half of the night. I'm going to try and do my best, like bunch it up around my head and especially my ears, try and block out noise. And
And I'm gonna
Felix, of course, I'm going to let know that I'm doing that.
take a
Yeah.
quick 2-minute bio while we're all sleeping here. I'll be right back.
Okay. Well, I was planning on doing that in just a second anyway. But
You're gonna
yeah.
say it's now.
Okay. So you guys see that the first watch goes fairly uneventful. You're reading your books. You're doing what have you.
Yeah, I'm just outside on like a chair reading magic text via mage light.
Right, and due to the mage light, you have a pretty good view of what's going on because it like irradiates pretty far, gives you feet, I think within like 60 feet or whatever, so more than enough to see
Yeah,
the
it's like that.
pathway. And I mean, it's fairly dark here in the mountains at nighttime. It's not like a big open area where the moon can shine enough light. So yeah, so you read until you get very tired, and Alan, you wake up Alan to swap out shifts.
Yep.
And at about I was gonna wait till he gets back, but he'll figure out when he gets here. At some point, maybe a half an hour, 45 minutes after you've swapped Alan,
Mhm.
you, if you wish, because I'm sure you have a torch of some sort, like you can light a torch or a tiki torch or anything like that. You can make something up. But I mean,
I'm pretty sure
you don't
my
have a light
pack
spell.
comes with something. Yeah, I have
Yeah.
torches in my pack. So.
Yeah, so you light up a torch, and you kind of like either you hold it or you just like stick it in the ground, what have you.
I'll
But
just prop it up, just like check on my horse or something, see if it's like cold, if I need to bring out like a sheet to cover it or anything like that.
yeah, and you find in the cottage, what have you, there is extra blankets in there, so you get him like a woolen blanket and throw it over him, keep him warm. But about a half an hour, 45 minutes into your watch, um, you hear some sort of noise in the distance because it's very like dead and quiet. You hear like what sounds to be like a flapping noise. After a couple seconds, it stops, and then you hear a beautiful, what can only be described as the most beautiful song you've ever heard. Sounds like it's coming from a young maiden.
Gonna do my best, since I heard that flapping, try and, if I can, try and pinpoint where, like what direction it came from, and like look in that direction, see if I can find anything in that area where I thought I heard it from.
It sounds like from the flapping, you can. It sounds like where the path is, like up and to the right slightly of the path, but like it is altitude wise, it's obviously higher. Um, so it seems like it's coming from like above the path, but slightly to the right.
Okay, so
And
it's not like I could walk like 2 minutes and be to it. It's like a little ways out.
yeah, and it also seems like it's higher, because it's like in the air.
Right. Okay.
So like it's coming from above you. You can't see it. You just hear the flapping noise.
Okay, yeah, and even if I like step out and like look up into the sky, I'm not seeing anything.
Yeah, you're only like dimly lit out to like whatever 60 feet or something from the torch, but the rock wall, the stone mountain wall, um, it covers, like, it just goes up into blackness.
Oh, okay, so it's like a dark night out and all that.
Yeah. Again, like in this mountainous region, like you can't really see very well. Like if you walk around just right, like you can kind of see the moon,
Mm,
but it's not very open. It's not very well lit at nighttime.
okay.
But yeah, you hear the song, and after maybe about like 10 or so seconds, um, like you can feel like it's almost as if the world is spinning. Um,
Ooh,
so
sounds ominous.
Well,
I'm
at
gonna
this
have
point, okay.
what I
Yeah,
was
go
gonna say
ahead.
is, like, you hear this go on, and as you hear the song, I'm gonna have all of you guys. You all hear the song, but some of you are sleeping. Everybody make a wisdom saving throw. And there is
Yeah.
so Branagor for sure. Ed makes it. Okay, so Alan and Felix. Oh my God, this is gonna be interesting.
Talk.
Okay, so uh, I was gonna give. Oh, Alan was the one who had stuff over his head anyway, so it doesn't matter. Okay, so yeah, um, you guys, you awake Alex to the most beautiful song that you've ever heard, and everything in your power just compels you to go towards it, and the same for you, Alan. It seems like you just you must go. Like, your sole purpose in this world is to follow that song. And at that, we're gonna go ahead and take a break.
Okay.
I was trying to grab you, Ed, before you left on your
Yeah,
break.
no worries. No, I had to. It was one of those things. You get old and you sneeze, and it's not always just a sneeze. So
Right? You just had to do it.
exactly. No worries. Go ahead, guys. I'll be here.
Oh, man. I saw that 9 and I was like, oh no. And then Alex's 4
4.
came up.
That's okay. I have something that'll wake you up.
At least I have all of my gear since I'm like out keeping watch.
I have an 8-pound earplug in my hand.
That's coming from the window, right? Yeah, it is. I see the little audio thing.
Yeah.
There. I was
Yeah.
about to say, I started hearing that. I'm like, where in the world is that coming from? Because I have some open backed headphones. So if something like it has a really wide soundstage, so if like say there's like a sound in like a game or in like music or whatever that's supposed to sound far away, it sounds like really far away. So I was like, I can't tell if that's coming from around me or from my headphones right now.
So yeah. So I will see you all in, like, we'll say like 10 minutes. Is that enough
Yeah.
time?
Alrighty.
I'm gonna head out
Yep. That's
real
good.
quick for a
There
sec.
you go. I'll go get my uniform ready and let the
Alright.
dog out. Okay, guys.
I'm back. And God, that sound is pretty creepy with these headphones.
Is that what the song is supposed to sound like if you're not charmed by it? Like it just sounds terrible unless you miss your saving throw, then it sounds like the best thing in the world.
Okay.
This is awkward. What's it called? I've got a friend who just started doing one of those Instagram live streams things, so I just popped in because I'd never popped into one of those before. They're just talking about like what's going on, and they're like, "Oh, who's here?" And they're like, "Oh, wow, Ryan's here. Ryan's never here." I'm like, "Yo, I'm about to
Oh.
leave though."
Well, that's awkward as fuck.
Yeah, that's cool. I was like, "You sound sick, so feel better. Good night, bye," and just peaced out.
Hmm.
Damn, look at Branagor's rolls for that save.
23, 25.
Yeah, I was gonna argue for advantage because I had
Plus.
this shit over my head, but then I was like, doesn't matter.
Yeah.
Hmm.
You should, if you're in the hut with me, you should
What
have
about for
advantage
me?
over the snores. You know.
Oh, true.
Yeah. What are you gonna do, eh?
It'll be interesting.
Yeah, I don't know how to break that curse there. We don't have any dispel magics. And is our mage the one that got charmed? Or
But dispel magic's like also like 3rd level. I don't have that yet.
Yeah, it's Felix and Alan. I think both of them.
Yep. At least mid.
I could probably stop one of you with a spell.
Thing is, y'all are probably just gonna wake up tomorrow, come over to the house, and we're just gonna be gone.
Yeah. Oh, are you two both in that same house?
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Literally the worst possible outcome of that situation.
That rocks.
That's really amazing. I was
Dylan.
about to say, before he made us do a save, I was gonna run in and wake up Felix, being like, "Be careful, like keep your wits about you."
I don't think it would have made a difference.
Probably not, but
It would have made a
who knows?
difference if you were the only one to lose your save, but
Mm.
not with both of us.
I mean, we must hear it in the other house too, since we had to make saving throws.
I mean, yeah, you're hearing it in your sleep, but like everyone hears it in their sleep. I don't know what's it called. Martine said it woke her up, but it'll
Yeah, I
be
mean,
his call on whether it wakes everyone in the town up or if it was just her that time, since her husband was getting out of the
got out
house
of
and all
bed or
that.
something. Yeah.
Yeah, if it ends up waking you guys up, then
If she has a Sealy Serta
Face the fuck out of
mattress
us.
there, then yeah.
Yeah, it'll be
Well,
his call once he gets back.
we'll head back to that town there and find 2 more adventurers to join my group. And
roll up some new characters.
I'm going to start getting accused of a serial killer. And I take these people out on groups, and some of them don't come back. All we did was go to a town to look at a missing person. So how are you guys finding it so far?
I mean, it's
I
been
like it.
like overall with like the group, I've been having a great time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like the group dynamics there. I'm a little more like hack and slash on them there. I don't know how it's going to work with the levels, because he said he does like milestones and not like set XP. I'm hoping we get that 2nd level soon.
I was gonna say, I thought we leveled up at the end of the.
Oh man, did he never do the leveling with you?
Yeah, I'm not sure how that's going on.
Yeah, because
well,
what's it called? Me and Dylan were talking last night, and he just walked me through doing level request. I'm sure if you bring it up with him, he'll just
okay, so we did.
Oh,
let you know.
yeah, you definitely grabbed the
'Cause I
level.
wasn't
You
here.
might have,
Oh, okay.
or you did.
Well, there you go. Well, that makes let me fix that then. Add some more hit points, and that'll change the outcome of things. That might give me a 2nd level spell,
I don't think so. I don't think it's a level 3.
or at least an extra 1st level spell.
Yeah, I'll give you more first.
Yeah, we'll just bring it up with Dylan once he gets back, and you can just do that real quick while he's. I don't know. He probably has something to describe going on with me and Felix, so you can just.
It'll only
do it.
only take me like 1 minute to level up for
I was gonna
level
say,
2.
that shouldn't be that bad.
I'm back. Yeah, I was gonna let you know
okay.
that you leveled up. I told
Okay.
everybody, but I forgot to remind you because you weren't at the end of last session.
Oh, no worries. It'll take me a minute to do my hit points and pick another spell. And when the charm thingy went off there, did like the other two of us actually hear it and wake up, or
Yes.
was this something just on the, so we're awake and we can run outside and see them starting to walk down the path? Or
Yeah, and I mean, I'm probably asking a leading question here, but did you sleep in your armor?
hell no.
Ooh.
I do.
Kind of hard to sleep in
I'd
splint.
say you're in big armor.
I'm not in the
Okay.
leathery stuff.
Yeah. So you hear that, and just again, real quick before we get into it, I kind of forgot. So do you have to leave at 11 tonight? Like that, it starts tonight.
Yeah. Yeah, I gotta start tonight there. I gotta leave at 11.
Okay, no problem. So, okay, so yeah, you guys both awake to this just beautiful song. And as you wake up, it's almost like you're coming out of the best dream that you've ever had. There's just a supernatural feeling of uh, like excitement, like a giddiness that washes over you, and then as you wake up, it just fades. But you can still hear this song.
All right. We're gonna look head to the house to get the other guys.
Yeah, I look at Cleese. I say, "Are you here?
I'm here.
Are you good? Okay, yeah, we gotta go."
Yeah, let's go find them.
So are you going to like take your armor with you, or are you just running out with
Yeah.
no armor?
Well, I'm gonna take it with us there.
Okay. I'm just saying because
Am I-
armor like that takes it takes several minutes.
And
at
take me
least
like
to
10
put on.
minutes to get on. Yep.
Yep.
10
So
minutes by myself or 5 minutes with help if the other person knows what they're doing.
right.
I'm gonna think the druid guy doesn't.
But it's fair enough. Like you can just like scoop it up and like you kind of like half throw on like the breastplate or whatever. I'm not sure exactly. You said what armor do you have? Like a chain shirt
I
or think?
no,
Chain
I have scale mail.
scale mail. Okay.
So it's mostly like greaves, shin pads, and a breastplate.
So you kind of like haphazardly throw the breastplate on to like hold it, and then you scoop up the rest of the stuff and you like run out of the house. So yeah, you guys run out
Five
and
minutes for.
it's very dark here, but you can easily see Alan and Felix. You see Alan going towards the path, and it's illuminated because he had a torch out, and that's the only reason that you can even see it. You hear this beautiful song, and it sounds like it's coming not from the path, but like way above the path. You just see like the torch illuminates like a stone wall, just like the wall of the mountain or whatever, and then it just fades into blackness, and that's somewhere there is where the song is coming from. And you see Felix. He's like coming out of the cabin as you kind of wake up and you're going around, and you see like I said, you see Alan walking, like starting to walk up the path, like he's just almost to the shadow of where the torch is, and then Felix is just walking out of the hut. And you see Alan has all of his stuff, but Felix he doesn't seem to be carrying anything. He's just like he has his whatever clothes on. I'm not sure if he has night clothes or if he's just like wearing his robe but he has nothing in his hands.
Yeah,
He's
yeah.
just walking towards this song.
All right. So who's with me? The mage or the druid guy? Or
I'm the
Druid. Brandagor.
yeah.
okay. So all right. So let's go run catch up to these two and see what's happening.
Yeah, I want to run straight to Alan since he's the closest to the path. I want to try to get to him. First I call to him because I don't know anything yet, but I just say, like, Alan,
You guys hear
where are
that?
you going?
There's no response. He just keeps walking forward blindly. And I say walking forward, they're not like shambling, but they're moving like decent pace. They're not sprinting.
Purposefully.
Yeah, they're walking with purpose towards this.
All right. I run to catch up. Hey, I grab him on the shoulder, tap him. Hey.
Just kind of like shrugs it off, like doesn't pay it any mind. He's just very focused. Whatever it is, he's walking with, again, purpose towards like up this path.
All right.
And following not far behind him is Felix.
All right. I will get in front of him and try to knock him out of this. Hey, wake up.
Okay. He hold on. So you can go ahead and repeat the saving throw, Alan. Go ahead and do a wisdom
Okay.
saving throw. So you're stopping him, Alan. You really want to. Your sole purpose in life is to walk towards the melody. So
All right.
I'm gonna have
they're
you
not
do,
stopping.
No, what I'm gonna say is because you're physically trying to stop him. I would just say make a opposed strength check or athletics check.
All right.
Like you're athletics, you're trying to hold him back, and he's trying to go towards the origin.
Can I
Okay.
assist him?
Sure. Yeah, you can give Ed advantage if you're both trying to
Yeah,
hold him
but
back.
we should both get one. We'll do a
Okay, if
strength
you-
check.
Sure, if you want to do it that way.
Are we doing strength checks or athletics checks?
Well, he already did strength. We'll just do straight strength. It's fine.
Okay.
So Branagor, you make one as well.
It's my.
Yeah.
Come on.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, and you knew that Alan was pretty strong, but you didn't really notice it to its fullest extent until now. It seems like you're just kind of scraping like at his shoulders and his armor, and he's just walking like a tank. It's almost like you're hanging on to him, and he's just walking. He just continues to walk forward.
All right, stand back, boy. Here's my next thing on those two. I'm gonna
Okay.
put them both to sleep.
Okay.
Huh.
So it goes from lowest HP first, which
Yep.
hold on, let me see here.
That's gotta be me.
Yeah, you have 13, so it puts Felix to sleep, and you see Alan just like for a brief moment he kind of like he like has a wobble to his step, but then he straightens out and he keeps walking.
Well, now we only have to
fast.
deal with stopping one. All right.
Yeah, and Felix
Let's
he
start.
falls to the side and he's got like his arms are sprawled out and he's just passed out.
All right. So the other one, does he seem to hear anything? Like if I yell, does he make any indication that he's hearing anything from me? Or
No, it seems like he's just he's walking forward with purpose, and he's ignoring any sort of external
all right. Well,
stimuli. I was looking for the word.
I hate to do this. Well, actually, I like to do this, but I cold cock him.
Okay, 19. Yeah, 19, I believe, hits your armor class.
Yeah, 18.
Yep. So
If I'm
for
taking damage, we'll wake him.
yeah, go ahead and repeat the saving throw. Yeah. So he
Oh my.
wobbles. He wobbles to the side a little bit, and he's you see a like bloody patch start to well up in the back of his head, but he's still going. It's almost as if whatever it is that you're trying is just not.
4 to 6.
All right.
Can
Hey,
So
Can I just tackle him?
I guess you can.
Sure. Yeah, you can.
Grapple.
Yeah, go ahead. Grapple. So just make an attack roll, and add your whatever your strength is. Okay, so that hits his armor class.
Okay.
So yeah, you tackle him to the ground, and at this point he's still like he's trying to crawl like away from you, but you have him in place. You're fairly bulky. You're a larger sized person.
Okay, I'm just yelling at him. I'm like, just snap out of it.
Okay, so yeah, radio, go ahead and make a wisdom save again. Repeat the saving throw.
Oh my god.
Okay, so you're gonna spread your action. Go ahead and make in athletics or acrobatics, whatever is higher for your character.
Okay, they're the same, so I'll just do
Yep.
athletics.
And Branagor, you notice. Branagor, go ahead and make a athletics check to try and hold on. As long as you beat a 9. Yeah, so no problem. You see he's trying like weakly to like push you off with an arm, and he's trying to like hobble forward however few inches he can, and you notice he just has like a glazed over expression and like a warm smile that just seems very very strange. He's trying to fight you and push
I'm
back.
just gonna
Dragging him back
try
to
to
the
keep
house?
him here until we can figure out. Like, I don't know. I don't know what's going on with this. Like, I don't understand why we're not, like, me and Cleese aren't affected by it, but he is. So I'm just like racking my brain. I just want to hold him to the ground as much as I can.
Because of our line of work, boy, we're naturally attuned to magic and more resistant. We have more brains than that other guy. Let's try to drag them to the house.
Okay. Yeah, I'll just do one more athletics check between Alan and Branagor, but I'll give Branagor advantage considering like Ed's helping him out. Yeah, so no problem. He's fighting you, and there's still something. Every ounce of his being, he wants to go towards the song, but you guys just kind of grab him arm in arm and drag him back.
Okay. Yeah, I want to get him back first and then
Pick up
figure him
Sleepy.
out. Okay.
Okay.
And
So you bring him back. So it takes a minute to get him back in the house, and at this point, like he's still trying to fight you. Go ahead and make another wisdom saving throw, Alan. Okay, so at this point, you guys like get him, and you're like kind of like fighting him. You've sat him down on Fosco's bed, and you're just trying to like stay down. And eventually, at some point, he's struggling, and then the struggling just lessens and stops. And Alan, you go from this moment of it's almost like you're headed towards like like a climax, like you're just like really super pumped, like you have to listen to the song, you have to go towards it, and it's just like you're right up on the crest of like the apex of this hill, and you're never getting there, and then all of a sudden it just fades away, and you come back to consciousness.
Alright, well, I'm gonna give like one big shove at this point as I come to like full awareness. Be like, what just happened? It's like, and like reach back after I've tried to do that shove. At least try to reach back. They've let me go at this point. Like reach to the back of my head. It's like, what happened? Like, what time is it now?
You were out there and something came and hit you on the back of the head and you went dazed and started walking off. Do you remember
And
what hit you?
so you're with us now.
I'll just note at this point also, by the way, Felix is still out. Like it took both of you guys to drag him into the hut. This happened, just so you know that Felix is still out there at this point.
Yeah, I'll go grab Felix while you deal with this guy.
Am I back awake?
No,
I don't think
you're
sleep
asleep.
lasts that long.
You're asleep in the road.
Well, speaking of Brango, I'm just gonna say, while Cleese is heading out.
Yeah,
I'm just going to turn to Brandagor. And the last thing I remember was the flapping of wings, perhaps something of the sort, up the path somewhere, and the beginning of the music. I was about to turn and start going to grab Felix to let him know to keep his wits about him, but that's as far as I can remember.
The
yeah.
harpy came.
Go ahead, Felix, and make another wisdom save. As it does only sleep lasts a minute. Okay, so you run back out to get Felix, Cleese, and you see him like at this point he started walking back down the path. He's
So he's
probably
up and walking again?
yeah. So you go and you're like, oh, I'm gonna go get him, and you see at this point he's probably like 100 or so feet like up the path, like he's just going
All
for
right.
it, and you can hear
I'll
that.
run and tackle him.
Okay. It would take like a few rounds worth of time, but you're like double moving, and while he's walking with purpose, he's not sprinting. So it takes a few, and you tackle him. Go ahead and make another wisdom saving throw, Felix. As he tackles you to the ground, like you just in an instant you feel the rocky, hilly, stone floor just grind up against your face, and that moment of pain snaps you out of whatever this is. And as you come to, you're like, what the my face, and you can still hear this beautiful song, but again, you go from having your entire purpose being go towards this to it fading back, and now you're in control.
Wake the frig up, man!
God, the fuck!
No, it was like that my
God.
first time too, but
You awake, you have no shoes on, whatever it is that you went to sleep with. So I don't know if
Yeah,
you
I'm
have
just
night
like
clothes
sleeping
or if you
clothes
just
or something.
Can I ask? Can we still hear the song?
yeah, it's still going, and you can actually see like it sounded like it was much closer in the beginning, and now it's gone further back down the path, if that makes sense.
it gets expecting that we're following anyway.
Yes.
I bamf orbit on my shoulder, and that has I think like 120 feet of dark vision or something,
Yeah.
and try to see if I can make out anything. Let's see. Yeah, 120 feet.
Make a perception check, which I believe for an owl has advantage.
Owl perception, passive perception 13, advantage on wisdom perception checks. Is that just wisdom?
Click on the owl's perception.
Perception is wisdom, but I did make a character sheet, so you should be able to click on it.
Okay, it just lets me. Oh wait, perception. Got it.
Alright, has advantage 11. So I'm just gonna roll a hold on.
I think the owl has a passive perception too of like 13 or 14.
It says passive perception 13.
Okay, let me see what it gets. Dexterity is +1. Okay, no. So you scan with the owl, and you're looking and all you see is like hill and just upwards, like up this path is where the mountains are. So it just gets much much more of an incline, stony surface, and as orbit flies up towards kind of the more of the top of this like sheer rock face, because you're in more of like a ravine, you see like looming at the top of it a shadowy winged figure. You see what appears to be a human female, pointed ears, long, scraggly, dirty brown hair, completely naked, and she's in like a gargoyle pose, like she's got like squatted down position, and has large taloned feet and hands, and is just scanning the area and singing this beautiful song.
Apple bottom jeans, the boots with the fur.
I see her. I see her.
And at that, you see she's got like you can't really see colors with dark vision, but you see the head snap towards orbit.
At that, I bamf him away.
She sees him. She sees him.
And like, because you're watching through his eyes, so you see like a brief moment of this thing is fast. It immediately snaps its head and like just goes for orbit, and it's probably within like 10 feet when it's bamfs out. And you hear like a screech, like a, and then the song continues, and you hear some flapping for a few moments, and then it settles down. Because again, this is like in a ravine in the dead of night, so like sound really travels here.
Yeah. Yeah.
No,
I think we should take her out now. If we're unaffected by this song, it would be a good time to just try to take her out right now. Because if we wait,
I mean, we got eyes, but
if she's
what time
flying
is
away,
it?
It is like super late. It's probably like 12, 1, maybe 2. Like it's hard to.
She was flying back towards the mountain.
Yeah, originally like she was going back, as like Felix was following her. The song, and you guys know because you all heard it. The song started out being like almost directly above Fosco's house, because there's like almost like a sheer cliff face, which you can assume based on what he saw that she was sitting on the top of that, and started making her way down, trying to lure people down the path.
So if she's still continuing away, I don't think there's any point in chasing her, because if she's flying, we're not going to catch her.
I think light is our biggest issue.
And do we really want to catch her at night, where she can probably see better at night than we can in the day?
should we attempt to follow her and see where she sleeps?
Again, we're going to run into, if we lose track of her in the night, she could ambush us at any time from any direction. I just used a little bit of spells here, and I'm sure from when she hit him from behind with whatever she hit him with on the head, he's probably a little sore. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
You guys hear the sounds of footsteps from outside of the cabin. Probably a number of footsteps. They're all like coming towards you, and you can see, unless you have the door closed, you would see like torchlight coming up under the door, or if the door is open, you would see it.
Yeah, I think we're all outside right now, looking up at the owl and her and seeing what's what.
I think me and Brandagor are still inside, correct?
Oh, well, I didn't even think about that.
How high up is the cliff? Like, how far away was she when she started to, like, go away?
It's probably a good 75 to 80 feet up to the top.
How far out?
Oh, how far
Are we
out? She was
talking like a
about,
football field away, or?
It was about, what was it, like how far down the path did you get? It was something like 100 feet or so, like down the path. She was like a little farther than that. So maybe, yeah, again, like we'll say like 80 feet up, and then like down the path probably 120, 130 feet.
It's up to you guys. I mean, she's probably not going to stick around now that we're not charmed. You can try to follow her if you want, but I don't think we have. When she can fly, And if she flies more than 60 or 80 feet up in the air, we can't see her. I don't think we have much chance to track her anyway. We'll just end up getting lost in the night.
We'll
We also
get
have
back, rest. We'll find her nest in the morning.
Yeah, I think that's probably going to be the best action there. But if you guys want to go gung ho, hey, I say I'm willing to put my life on the line for it.
There's no way to track
Just-
at this hour, I don't think.
I
No way to
Much
track her at
better
all.
for
She
Blake.
flies, so
mean, you can use the orbit, but the second she sees it, she's going to dart after it again. And if she hits
Exactly.
it,
Unless you want to lure her into us, I don't think there's any point in pursuing it at night. And if we did
I
that and
don't
were
think
able
she
to kill it, then there'd be little to no hope of finding where her other victims have gone.
exactly.
yeah, we need to find her nest regardless.
So we want to go back and rest.
Yeah, go finish the
Rest.
rest.
Finish her rest. Maybe find some way to have a better watch or something.
At this point, I don't think she'll be coming back, so I think it'd be better for.
Has the singing stopped, or is it still going on?
No, it's still going on, but you can hear that it's gotten a little more distant.
Okay, I think we're gonna wait until it kind of peters out before going back to sleep.
Okay, like I said, you can hear footsteps and see torchlight behind you, and you see, like, I don't know, probably 8 or 10 villagers with torches are just like coming out, and they're looking around, and they see you and approach you.
Greetings, folks. We scared it off this time, but I think we're going to head off first thing in the morning to try to find its lair.
And at that, you hear like murmurs, and they're like whispering to each other. And you see, sorry, drawing a blank here. Yeah, you see Martine. She runs up and, any luck? Did you find him?
No, but she did decide to visit us tonight, and we managed to keep her away from any other unfortunate townsfolk, we're pretty sure. So at this point here, we're going to head off first thing in the morning and try to find her lair.
Oh, and at that, like, she has, like, all of a sudden it goes from like a very happy to a very like sullen look. Oh, well,
Yeah.
best of luck to you. And I'll be sure to prepare for you to head out tomorrow, and I'll pack you all lunches.
Oh, well, that's very kind of you.
It'd be much appreciated.
And that she
Check with the villagers. Anybody else get a good look at this thing to make sure that it actually is a harpy? And
That was certainly a
what it
harpy.
looks like? Never seen one before.
From what I've read, I mean,
Could have been my aunt for all I know. I don't know.
winged, naked, nasty woman with claws and such.
My ex-wife.
Sounds about right. But yeah, it definitely matched description of a harpy.
Alrighty. Most fighting evil by moonlight and finding love by daylight. Woohoo! Right.
all right, and yeah, so you see her and some of the other villagers. They're just like looking up in vain again, because you can only see in the darkness, and they're not getting any closer to the path than Fosco's place. And even then, they're probably like 10 or 20 feet like behind you guys. Only Martine approached you, and
Yeah.
they're just looking around, and after several minutes, they kind of like hear what you're saying, and they all whisper to each other, and then they go back to their homes and like have sideways glances over, looking at you and up at the skies.
That's good, dear. They're all going back to bed. It seems like a good idea for us for the rest of the night, too.
Yeah. How much of a rest did you get, Branagor?
I think I've been asleep. I haven't taken a watch, so however long it's been since we laid down.
Yeah, the thing about a watch with this is as soon as whoever's on watch hears it, they make the save. If they fail, we're screwed anyway. So yeah, we'll go with Oh, I was gonna say 2 people on watch at a time, but yeah, I don't think she's gonna be back tonight.
I don't think so either. But I do think, now that I think about it, Branagor may have the best bet against resisting that kind of charm effect.
Well, the thing is, I think I don't know how long we're gonna be okay, because we were all charmed, or no, y'all were charmed. We avoided it somehow, and then once y'all snapped out of it, the song kept going, but you maintained your consciousness. So that's why I wanted to try to perhaps track her, because right now it seems like we're not affected by the song,
Hmm.
and I don't know how long. Like if
That resistance will last.
yeah,
But you know what though, we don't have a way to track her because it's dark out, and if she goes more than 60 feet in the air and stops singing, we don't know if she's going north, south, east, west. She's going anywhere. She's sitting above us waiting to shit on us. We can't tell.
A word might be much better off in the morning. Even if
That's
there's another, we have to deal with her charm again, I think we can maybe.
I think what I'll do, being a wise and protected by my god as I am, I'll take the watch for the rest of the night. Many other spellcasters can get some sleep. Yeah, I'll be down a spell, but I'll still be half decent alertness tomorrow.
if you want to sleep, I could watch, because I don't need, I haven't cast any spells.
There you go. Well then, why don't you take the second half? I'll stay up for a couple of hours and watch, and I'll wake you just before sunrise, and I'll have a nap before we go.
Actually, yeah, about what time is it? Because because me and Felix were gonna do just 2 watches, so it should be like more than halfway through the night at this point. So what? Just another like 5 hours or so? Less than that, maybe like 3 hours till morning. Dylan?
Oh, sorry. What was that?
About what time is it now? Since me and Felix were supposed to split that into 2 shifts, it should be only
Yeah,
another couple hours till morning, right?
Yeah, so taking 2 shifts, unless you were doing like 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours all night, assuming that it was like 2 shifts, you guys had pretty much just swapped out and you were on your shift for like 45 minutes or so before things started to go down. So
4 a.m. ish.
Yeah, that's why I presumed was around 3 to 4. Well, probably closer
Yeah,
to
it's
almost
probably
5 now
closer
with
to.
all the activity.
I was gonna say with all the activity, I would say closer to. I suppose it depends. Um, if say you went to
Anybody have a
bed, it was
naturey
probably
skill?
7:30, 8 o'clock,
Yeah.
and how long was your thing? I'd say like 6 hours of a watch, 6 and 6,
Something like that,
or
yeah.
5 and 5, 6 and 6. So you're looking at the ballpark of like 2 o'clock, and then stuff goes down. So 2:30, 3.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. Yeah, like 3 o'clock.
Right. So I think we should be good for the rest of the night there. So, like I say, I'm only up a little earlier than I'd normally be, the crack of noon or so. So, if you guys want to go ahead and crash for bed, I'll hold up for an hour or two.
I, for one, definitely need to sleep off this hit that one of you gave me.
It was her, and you should have seen it. You were brave. You tried to fight her off till the end, but he cold cocked you on her way out.
I see, that's reassuring.
You did good, boy.
And so because you have to leave at 11.
Yep.
Which is now. So the rest of the night
pretty much.
passes uneventfully. Um, Cleese kind of nods off a little bit and like
Yeah.
wakes himself up, and come dawn, everyone is um, exhausted, a little uneasy, and there's a kind of a silence among the village that you don't quite get in a city like Kermont. Um, and that's where we're going to leave it. You guys kind of waking up in the morning to this quiet mountain village after everything transpired the night before.
Mhm.
All
I
right,
guess,
guys.
this definitely isn't a long rest, right? It's a short rest.
Yeah, I would say because it depends how long you want to sleep in. If you want to sleep in later, you can take a long rest and just say you slept in
Sleep till
until
like 9 a.m.
yeah, as long as you get at least 6 hours of sleep. So it's like 3 o'clock now. So yeah, like 9 o'clock.
There
Okay.
you go.
Yeah, I guess long rest then.
Yeah, let's make sure we're going prepared.
All right, guys. I'll see you guys next week, eh?
Yep.
All right.
Are we
Well,
doing?
Oh, if we're
Yeah,
going to Wednesday, are we going to this Wednesday or next Wednesday as our
No.
next thing?
Because obviously I have the other group on Tuesday. 3 games this week is a little rough, especially because I'm starting school
Yeah,
this
man.
week. So
Okay.
I
Yeah.
got other things I need to prepare for. So
There you go.
Yeah, no
Next
unfortunately
Wednesday it
problem.
not
is.
this week, but starting next week. So starting next week, and in case anybody's listening, I don't think anybody is, but we're gonna be doing Wednesdays, 8 to 12.
All right, guys. I'll see you then.
Okay. Yep. See
All
ya.
right, see you later.
Over.
And you guys can thank the spoopy music that's on Tabletop Audio. It's a free resource, so any writers, anybody that just like to listen to various ambient music, I use it a lot in my offline D&D games. But the dude that runs it is super awesome. It's all free, so he just takes it on donation. So anybody here that wants to DM games or just listen to stuff, it's pretty awesome. There's like sci-fi, fantasy, there's all sorts of stuff. So I would check it out.
Okay.
Cool.
Yeah. It's
All right,
been
guys. Well, I will see you next week.
interesting.
All right,
Sounds
see
good.
you later.